pickup.
You know, I always made fun of the Armstrongs. I mean, they're a good team, but they always have that nice boy image. You know, they like to smile and shake hands with the people and, you know, talk about country and western stuff and music and hillbilly stuff, you know. And, but they're a good team. They're second, third, fourth, fifth generation wrestling family.
Oh, you like them now?
I like their attitude. Yeah. I like a guy that's aggressive. I like the guy that takes the bull by the horns. He has to shave his head and lose an ear. A whole lot.
Big forearm shot right on the top of the head. The fans love it. They're behind Harlem Heat here. And Booker T's in control. Scott Dickinson, the referee, calling for a break in the corner. And coming out, an eye gouge here. And, oh, look at this.
See, this is good teamwork right here. One of the James brothers has now they're double teaming. The referee is being pulled out of position. Good tag team wrestling. Watch, referee turns around, nothing happening. Yep, you heard the tag, didn't you, ref? You big dummy.
Whether you heard the tag or not, but right now the referee's saying, hey, wait a minute, there was no tag here.
And you know, from the back, they look alike. They can switch. There's a lot of great things you can do.
In the span of, what, 5 minutes here, we've seen the transformation of a new team, and we've seen Bobby the Brain Heenan finally say some good things about the former Armstrong brothers, now James brothers here.
Well, I just like their attitude. They're aggressive.
Foot to the face. Whoa, boy.
See, everything's happening here in wrestling, the wrestling world here at WCW. I mean, #1 rated television programming, sell out of houses every place we go. Pay-per-views are tremendous. Everybody wants a piece of that cake. Everybody wants to make that big money. They have that big star shine on them. And if you have to do it this way, Armstrong, do it. Sometimes you have to make your own noise.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing here. Exchange, and right now, the Armstrongs, the James brothers, looking pretty darn good. Here's a big splash of the cover. Kick out into two.
They kind of have that street look to them, you know, that kind of I'll sleep in a refrigerator box.
Yeah, maybe that's a good way to put it. I don't know. I don't know what you call it, but it's bizarre, but in the same breath, effective here.
Harlem Heat's just too powerful for this team.
In the midsection, scoop slam, down.
But if you know how to wrestle, you can just about have your way.
No, sir. That time, the other brother combination made the exchange.
The big one's in.
It's Stevie Ray. Right hands, fist of fire, up and... Whoa! What power! And a save.
Oh, it must be spring because he's doing some planting out there.
Look at this double team. Boy, they are aggressive, Brain.
Yeah, it seems their new name and their new attitude has really changed them. Oh, did you hear that?
Uh-oh. Double team.
Oh! What a move!
The Big Apple, 1, 2, 3.
What do they call that?
The Big Apple.
Wow.
This was a great opening bout.
I tell you, the Armstrongs and the James brothers are going to be all right. They need a little management.
Oh, yeah?
They certainly do.
Until we get to go, there's a lot of suckers around here cutting us out. But we on our way back. Hey, y'all doing nothing on suckers. Get ready.
All right. Why do they wear those things on their noses? Are they trying to quit smoking?
No, it helps them breathe.
Oh. Take a look here. The James brothers in action. Harlem Heat just levels one of the James boys. Big power here. Watch this. Not satisfied with his slam, picks them up and just plants them right into that mat. Takes one of the James brothers over the top rope and almost eliminates himself. Now watch this. They call it the Big Apple. Kick right in the side of the head. He's going nowhere. Your winner, Harlem Heat.
Still to come, Steven Regal. Glacier will be here this week and much more. Right now, we'll be right back.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline.
Back on Worldwide Wrestling, and fans, do not forget we have some great action coming up later on this telecast, including Steven Regal, the new television champ, against Chris Jericho. Regal wins the TV belt recently at Slamboree, and here's a man who was the former champ, defeated Regal for that belt, had quite a run as the champ, Prince Iakea.
Listen to the music. Can't you picture Lee Marshall and Tanay in a big boiling pot with carrots and potatoes?
Well, yes, I can.
Yes. Sounds good, don't it?
No, it doesn't sound good, but looks pretty good.
Marshall stew with Mike Meat. Can't live any better than that.
Rey Mysterio Jr.
This man's come a long way. From Mexico.
Always comes a long way. Here we go, Brain. Should be a great matchup. Former champs going at it. And great champs, I might add. Hello, Brain. Are you talking here?
I'm watching. I don't have to say. I say things when I feel like them. I'm observing now. You'll learn a lot more if you observe. Everybody be quiet.
As everyone is quiet, let's remind the fans that the Great American Bash comes your way Sunday, the 15th of June. The event is available exclusively on pay-per-view. It originates from the Mark of the Quad in Moline, Illinois. Make your plans right now to join us for WCW's summertime tradition, the Great American Bash. Sunday, June 15th. Call your local cable operator right now and inquire about availability. And don't miss WCW's Bash in June.
Oh! That hurts.
Here's a cover. 1, 2.
Sometimes the guy throws you up by that. You don't know if you're going to come down your knees, your stomach, your elbows. You don't know what to land on. You're just up there.
Yes, I'm sure it's a scary place to be. Prince, good maneuver.
Oh!
How about that?
I like that move.
Fireman's carry type takeover. 1, 2, no.
Gotta really use his weight here. What are they chanting? Let's go, Ray.
Let's go. They love Rey Mysterio Jr. And of course, Prince Iakea, a big fan favorite as well.
Now they love Rey Mysterio, right?
Of course they do.
I mean, they love him. I mean, every holiday, all these people here buy him gifts. Birthdays, Christmas. He gets cards and letters, and all these people give him money and stuff and buy him things. They love him, right?
No, not to that extent. What are you talking about?
Oh, then they don't love him. They like him.
All right, they like you.
Now, you can love me, Tony, if you want to buy me some stuff.
I wouldn't. Forget it. Snapmare takeover. 1, 2.
I'll tell you, Diamond Dallas does not love the Macho Man.
And how about Diamond Dallas and the Macho Man Randy Savage at the main event for the Great American Bash?
You know, I'm impressed with this Diamond Dallas, just for the sheer amount of intestinal fortitude the man has. Take on the whole NWO by himself. He would. Oh!
Wow, standing sidekick. Boy, that was nicely done. 1, 2, Prince.
Now, why are the people booing? It's illegal.
Maybe it's because they love Rey Mysterio Jr., you think? Or
you mean all these people here come to his house
Stop.
and buy him stuff? They don't really love him then.
All right, they like him. Would you? This is deja vu all over again. Would you stop?
You love the Yankees?
1, 2, yes, and that's
You buy them all stuff? You have them over to your house? Then you don't really love them, do you?
Somebody, can I get a producer to come over here to our broadcast location and hit him over the head with something? Holy Moses. Forearm shot. Oh! What agility. What agility. Mysterio outside now. From the top. That time I think he hurt a knee, Brain, when he landed.
Yeah, it looked like it buckled under him.
Slowly staggering over now to his opponent. Rey Mysterio Jr. back to the attack again.
He seems to be moving okay.
Into the midsection. Here we go again. Up top. Oh, it's a tough spot now. That was a good maneuver by the Prince to stun.
Oh! What could this mean? A helicopter up there.
The Hurricane. 1, 2, see ya!
I want to see this again. You know why? I love this move.
You do?
Not really. You?
I've never bought any. Forget it. Go to the replay. The replay is brought to you by Valvoline. Used by America's top mechanics.
I got the power. I got the strength.
You sure do.
Take on those heavyweights.
People who know use Valvoline. Here we go again. We go back to the brain.
Well, just take a look here at this Rey Mysterio. He can come off that second rope. He can come off the top rope, the bottom rope. He can jump that high without even using the rope. Look at this. Plants the man, sets him up. The Prince is pretty well groggy right now. And just watch this. Is that a move?
That's the
Or
move.
is that a move? You love that move?
Not really. It's the Hurricane Rana, and your winner is Rey Mysterio Jr. With our Valvoline replay, people who know use Valvoline. Back with more. Listen to this. WCW Worldwide Wrestling, Universal Studios, Florida. Great American Bash coming up, and 2 matches have been signed, including Diamond Dallas and the Macho Man Randy Savage, the big return match, plus Steve Mongo McMichael and Kevin Green one-on-one. You're talking about 2 matches featuring 4 guys who hate each other. You got it right there, Brain.
Well, you see how McMichael went after Kevin Green the other night in the dressing room?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why guys want to pull him apart. Let him go. Let him fight. For all the years I've known Savage, I've disagreed with him on a lot of things, but I've always respected the man for having at least the ability to want to fight and would sacrifice his body. But I'll tell you, looking at Diamond Dallas Page, Savage looks a little bit worried.
All right, the lights dim here, and that means...
My wallet's gone.
No, that means Glacier is making his way to the ring.
Another in my other pants.
Glacier certainly has had his share of problems at the hands of Mortis and Wrath and James Vandenberg, but may have found himself an ally in Ernest Miller, former karate champion. As a matter of fact, he's the current heavyweight champion in tournament karate. That occurred at Slamboree as well. And you know, this guy needs an ally. I know he's tough, he's undefeated, but you cannot continue to fight 3 and 4 guys at a time by yourself, Ray.
I mean, you're right. As good as you are, as good as this guy is, he's still a human being. Still got 4 guys pounding on you. Not much you can do. You can fight for a while, but you only got 2 hands and 2 legs.
Glacier makes his way in, still without his helmet. Owned by Vandenberg and his cronies. But Glacier, who had his knee and ankle severely pounded and beaten Slamboree, not 100%, but that's not going to stop him from getting in the ring.
Trainer, what's his name? Chuck Taché?
Chuck Taché, yeah.
He was back there. He had about 60 yards of tape on him, trying to get him ready.
Did you measure that tape?
No, but I saw him. They were wrapping his leg, and he took a heck of a beating from Mortis and Wrath.
If he had 60 yards of tape on his leg...
Okay, 58 yards. I didn't measure it. Big deal.
Then
Got to be so precise.
Mark Starr, the opponent for Glacier here.
Thin tape.
Notice that Nick Patrick is the referee. Nick Patrick has been reinstated in an interview we heard from James J. Dillon a week ago. And certainly it's good to, I think it's good to have him back.
Well, they're watching him very carefully. They're going to watch him for 30 days.
It's a probationary period, you're right. In the corner, Glacier. Glacier a little bit more intense now than usual. You know why that is?
Yes. Oh! Yeah, he's letting Vandenberg and his band of merry men know what they're up for.
Good maneuver by Mark Starr. Look at that leg sweep. He is so quick.
See how he took him time a little bit? Hitch there getting up. That's that knee.
Oh, cryonic kick. He's not going to get up now. one crowded kick away from a win.
Well, it's always good to wear a helmet with a chin strap. That way you can find your head a lot easier after he kicks it off.
Glacier's your winner, and Glacier continues the undefeated string in the ring. He's not lost a match, but he certainly has lost many wars or many battles against Wrath, Mortis, and James Vandenberg. He is one awesome athlete.
The man is a weapon.
Yes, he is.
He is a weapon.
He's a weapon. Good point. Still to come, the U.S. champ Dean Malenko and Steven Regal and Chris Jericho. Right now, though, listen to this. Worldwide Wrestling continues from Universal Studios, Florida. Great American Bash is just around the corner in the 15th of June, and our fans watching this right near the end of May, 1st of June. Summertime is just about here. Kids are going to be getting out of school. They'll be going out for the family outings. We have a big summer plan for WCW, including the Great American Bash in June, Bash at the Beach in July, and Hog Wild returns to Sturgis, and the great Harley Rally in the month of August. That's a big summer for us. Speaking of big man here, Adrian Byrd, to face the United States Heavyweight Champion Dean Malenko. As
You like summer, Tony?
love summertime.
You like sitting outside having lemonade? You like picnics?
Yes,
Little League?
love it.
Going to the beach?
Yes, I do.
Realize Malenko never gets hot in the summer or any time of the year. This guy has ice water flowing through his veins. You know, he doesn't even sweat sometimes. Doesn't change expression. Seasons mean nothing to this man.
Therefore, the name, the moniker, the Iceman. Right now, Adrian Byrd, though, knocked him down. It was a good maneuver by the youngster Byrd. Byrd seemingly has a lot of confidence here, Brain.
Looks like he's wearing a lampshade.
Fans, don't forget the Great American Bash is available exclusively on pay-per-view. It is Sunday, the 15th of June. The event will originate from Moline, Illinois, and the Mark of the Quad. There's a cover. Got a one count. Be sure to call your local cable operator and be part. It's never too late to call. Sunday, the 15th of June, the Great American Bash from Moline, Illinois. Diamond Dallas Page and the Macho Man Randy Savage again.
Malenko's smart. Malenko's going to keep him on the mat. He's not going to try to match strength with this guy. It's obvious this guy Bird's a big, strong power lifter. Oh!
Boy, was that great execution or what?
But you can't lift those heavy weights with just your chin and your mouth. And that's where he put the drop kick, right there on the chin. Look at the expression. Nothing. Nothing.
Unless you're Adrian Byrd, then that's the expression of pain, is what that is.
Yeah, I think he said, I've had enough. You're listening real close. That's what he said. Ref, I've had enough. I can hear him from here.
Armbar. Back up, vertical position now.
Pretty good shape on Adrian there.
Yeah, he's a strong guy. Drop to a hold.
But this man can wrestle.
Yeah, Malenko has been content here with keeping the man down. And, of course, he wins the U.S. title, holds on to it, retains it against Jeff Jarrett. You know, Malenko, the type of athlete, because of his many maneuvers and his abilities, he could hold on to a title for a long period of time. Would you agree with that, Brain?
I don't know. Stanley Cup would be rough.
No, I'm talking about the U.S. belt.
Oh, yeah.
Wrestling title.
Oh, you said title. I just thought you meant anything. No.
Stanley Cup.
Would be rough.
You are such a bozo.
That's a clown.
Yeah, exactly. Pick up.
You know, he's deceiving too, Malenko. He's a lot stronger than he looks.
2 count.
Very compact, very strong man. Oh. He's taking his time.
Yeah, it's methodical is what it is.
Yeah. He's not going to let himself get in a position where this man can beat him. I think he feels the man has the power to beat him, but he doesn't have the ability or the knowledge or the years in the ring. But he doesn't really want to make a mistake with him yet.
Well, Malenko has said many times that he will put the U.S. title on the line against anyone. And allow me to play matchmaker here a little bit. I'd love to see him give Ming a shot, the Barbarian a shot.
I'd love to see him give the Giant a shot.
Me too. Or the Nature Boy Ric Flair now that he's back. What a great match that would be.
But the Giant, can you imagine trying to catch Malenko? Malenko trying to stay away from him? What a classic match that would be.
Back him up.
Adrian Bird holds his ground nicely. Oh, good quickness by Bird. Bird with a great drop kick, and that was nicely done. 2 count.
Like I said, Malenko doesn't want to make a mistake.
He didn't make a mistake right there, Brian. He looked darn good. Oh, no. Power slam. Adrian Bird, that time, he could have maybe won the match with a little bit indecisive cover. Standing switch, Malenko.
Move.
Boy, when you're in the clutches of Dean Malenko, there's a 2, you hit the match so hard with such force.
Bird's giving a good showing of himself.
Looks darn good here, you're right.
Oh, but look at that. When you least expect it, we're going to Texas. And get off at the Cloverleaf.
Didn't take him long.
Nah, he didn't want to waste any more time with this guy, Adrian Bird. I better not play around anymore. Of course, I don't ever think the man plays around anyway in there. But look at the expression. None.
Come on back.
Little challenge to his arch enemy, his nemesis, Eddie Guerrero. He's come on back. Eddie's still nursing some injuries. Not 100%, not back in the ring yet, but let's take a look at Malenko's win.
See, now, I heard different about that. Right there on the money, a good drop kick by the Iceman, Dean Malenko. Gets shot into the corner, but brings that right foot up real quick. It's Mr. Bird right in the beak. Good power slam out of the Birdman, but too much. Dean Malenko, too much knowledge. Slaps him in that Texas Cloverleaf, and tweet city for Mr. Bird.
Your winner, Dean Malenko. I want you to tell me what you heard differently about Eddie Guerrero, and we'll be right back.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Winter Fresh Gum from Wrigley. Icy cool flavor for icy cool breath that lasts and lasts and lasts.
Recently at Slamboree, we had the coronation, if I can use that term, and I know when it applies to this man, I can. The coronation of a brand new champion. A return, if you will, of Lord Steven Regal to the championship scene. 4th time that Regal has been the television champ. Here he comes. Steven Regal. I think I may have called him Lord again. It'll take a while for us to get used to not calling him Lord Steven Regal. You know why he said to stop using Lord?
Yes.
Why? You don't know, do
I
you?
do too. Because he wants to be known as Steven Regal.
That's right. But why? You don't know.
That's his name.
That's right, too.
Okay, I'm right 2 out of 2 times. What more? Do I win the duck or the bird?
You're in the bird, and here it is.
Hey, don't do that to me.
Chris Jericho making his way to the ring, and a youngster with a lot of fire and vigor and talent. But Steven Regal, very embarrassed about the royal family. And so he wants to have nothing to do with that anymore. That seems unpatriotic to me.
No. What it is the man has so much pride and dignity, he doesn't feel like he's treated fairly here.
Well, I wonder why. Maybe because
He's a little snooty.
he's a jerk is what he is.
Not a jerk. He's a little snooty, but some people are like that. He's an educated man. And he can wrestle.
So can Chris Jericho, so it should be a great main event matchup. The World Television Champ Regal and Chris Jericho. In the one-on-one matchup, Jericho. Jericho approaches every match the same way, 110%. Mr. Intensity.
He's hungry, no doubt about it. Everybody wants that big star slot, don't they, WCW?
Sure they do.
Everybody wants the main events. Everybody wants that title. Everybody wants to be involved. Things are happening so quick and faster, and the world is really watching us.
USA chant, and Jericho loves it as you look at the crowd on hand. But to be successful against Regal, you have to realize that you are going to be in there against a man who is a complete technical wrestler, a scholar of the technical side of wrestling, if you will, Lord Steven Regal.
And no matter what you put on him, he's got a counter for him and he'll put you in something.
Well, how about that one we just saw?
Right to the side of the ear, that rings your bell. But he always stays within the rules. I don't know why they're booing him. He's got a count of 5 to quit doing that, and he stopped at 4. Jericho's going to be a major star very shortly here. He is in Japan.
Yes, he is. They love him in Japan. International star, Chris Jericho. Father, great hockey player. And, of course, we're in the midst of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and Chris closely follows the Stanley Cup. His father played for the Kings, played for the Rangers.
Traded him a lot, huh? Couldn't keep a job.
Well, now Wayne Gretzky's been traded a lot too, now hasn't he? And
Yeah.
he'll be considered as the greatest player of all time.
Gretzky?
Yeah.
Nah.
All right, who do you think? I'm not going to go into this with you. Here's a cover. One.
I think Steven Regal, if he slapped on a pair of skates, he could go out there and do it. The man's a determined winner his whole life. You know, he started out wrestling when he was young, very young, a teenager. Went to Wiggins, trained over there. I mean, whole life he's won it. If he wanted to play hockey, he could.
Bridging out Regal, and good move by Jericho. Mark Curtis has got him for 2, and that was all. Determination plus here, Regal. Feet to the midsection. Sends the man over.
Where's he going?
Up top. Arm drag takeover. Good maneuver by Jericho. Here he goes again.
But show you how smart Steven Regal is. He gets out of the way. Well, he didn't get away with that one, did he?
Jericho with a version of his missile drop kick, sending Regal on the outside, and Regal, oh boy.
He'll fight anybody. When's the last time you rolled down a flight of steps?
Me?
Oh, yeah, Christmas party.
What are you talking about? You weren't there. What have you heard? Nothing.
I heard about it.
You heard nothing. Head first. And pulling the head, neck, snapping it on the top rope.
Well, he takes advantage of all the tools out there. He's got 3 ropes, 4 turnbuckles, 4 ring posts, a ring table, chairs, bells. If you don't use it, somebody's going to use it on you. The man has so much wrestling knowledge. Cross faces there, rubs that wrist bone into the eyes, now hooks his beak with his index finger.
His nose.
Size of a beak.
Would you please leave this youngster alone?
Sure he didn't play in that band Guns N' Noses?
Oh, my goodness. You're in rare form this week, aren't you?
I'm excited. Everything happening here.
Yeah, boy, and we're always excited when we head to the Great American Bash on Sunday, June 15th. The event available only on pay-per-view, fans. It'll be a big weekend for us. As a matter of fact, on the 15th, we are in Moline. On Sunday, the very next day, we are in Chicago, United Center, for another event of WCW Monday Nitro. Chris Jericho.
Barely got him.
But he did. I think the knee hit the head. Regal back up, and Regal back down. Jericho back elbow down.
That's the trouble with those high aerial moves. Sometimes you connect, sometimes you barely, sometimes you don't.
Backhand chop. Into the corner. Back body drop.
He's looking good for his lordship here. He's backpedaling.
1, 2, 3.
How ironic. As luck would have it, his toes accidentally hooked the rope.
Yeah, the rope was just accidentally there, right?
Well, the rope wasn't accidentally there. His feet were accidentally there, but he accidentally hooked his toes. Maybe we'll see more of it.
He was robbed. He was absolutely robbed.
I'm not giving it one anymore.
But he is still the television
I'm
champ.
going to show you.
Steven Regal.
Best wrestler. You're gonna take it to the ring.
Okay, get out of here.
Arn Anderson.
Show him some respect.
Piper Hogan.
Get out of here. We got to...
You show him some respect.
Oh, I should.
Oh, the Guerreros made it.
Go ahead.
You know, our theme song should have words.
You mean the Worldwide?
Yeah.
I could come up with some.
Let's get a look at this. Jericho. Doesn't get him good with the kick. Not as good as he'd have liked to, but Regal backs into that corner. Playing a little possum, maybe. Jericho goes to take him off with a monkey flip, and yes. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. He puts his feet up just for a leverage to kick in the air, and they get caught on that rope as luck would have it. Well, there's your winner. A new name, Steven Regal.
Okay, Brian, here's a look at next week's program. WCW Worldwide Wrestling in 1 week will present Dean Malenko, the U.S. Heavyweight Champion, in action.
And not only that, the big man, the big train with Teddy Long.
They'll be here as well. Plus, Chris Benoit with Woman returns to action. First time since Slamboree.
That's right, and screwing the light bulbs real tight. We got some high voltage.
We really do. They'll be here in tag team action. For the Brain, Bobby Heenan, I am Tony Schiavone. See you 1 week on Worldwide Wrestling.
Yep.
It's WCW Worldwide Wrestling from Universal Studios in Florida. And this week, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Dave Taylor from England will be with us.
Also, Tony Schiavone, Greg the Hammer Valentine's here.
He'll be here in singles competition as well as the big, powerful Ice Train along with Teddy Long.
And check these two live wires out. High voltage.
They'll be in our main event against Harlem Heat. It's all next. Along with the Brain, Bobby Heenan, I am Tony Schiavone. 1 week from the Great American Bash. Great matches coming to you on pay-per-view television, including a World Tag Team title bout. How about this one, Brain? The Outsiders, the champs, will defend against Ric Flair and Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Something smells funny to me.
About what?
When I managed tag team champions, we never challenged anybody. When you're champions, you never challenge anybody. For the Outsiders to come out here and challenge Flair and Piper, think about it. Who's the man that beat Hulk Hogan 2 different occasions?
The icon Roddy Piper.
Who's the hottest commodity right now in this sport?
Ric Flair.
You're right. Seems to me the Outsiders and Hogan and everybody else in the NWO have a plan. Piper and Flair could be in some serious trouble.
Serious trouble coming up next Sunday at the Great American Bash on pay-per-view. Right now, let's go to the ring. Great action on Worldwide. In the arena now, and we have great singles competition open up this 1 hour of WCW Worldwide Wrestling. Brain, we are 1 week away now from the Great American Bash, and as we talked about during the opening, the world awaits Paige Savage 2, no disqualification, but a lot of other great matches we're going to discuss during the course of this telecast, including Steve Mongo McMichael going one-on-one against Kevin Green.
Well, just to bring back a little Paige in history, remember the first match with Savage and Paige? Savage wound up with torn ligaments, leg in a cast on crutches. Diamond Dallas wound up having to have acupuncture, having had ice put on his back for about 4 or 5 days. I mean, they took a heck of a beating at each other. And Diamond Dallas came away with that diamond cutter. You watch Savage this time. You look in his eyes, and the same look I've seen before. But the look in Paige's eye, very definite.
All right, we see Dave Taylor, the former British Empire heavyweight champion, in the ring already, and he'll have to face one of the toughest in the history of our sport, I could confidently say, because you're going to find anyone in this era or in the past as tough as Chris Benoit.
Well, there's been a lot of tough guys over the years from the past, like a Mad Dog Bashan.
Sure.
I mean, very tough customers. But this man, a guy like the Dog was a dog. He went out there and ripped you apart. And
the dog was the dog. You're right.
That's right. But this man can do stuff off the top rope. This man can wrestle. This man has a tremendous physique, tremendous condition he's in. He's a hard man to beat. He's the crippler. He didn't give himself that name. He earned it.
Certainly did. Chris Benoit, the crippler, Canadian Crippler, if you will, and Woman at ringside with him. And here we go, the opening bout this week on Worldwide Wrestling. Summertime is here. We love summer. And it all kicks off the Great American Bash next Sunday. What a summer it's going to be. Great American Bash. Bash at the beach in July. Hog Wild, Sturgis, South Dakota in August. Going to be 3 great events, 3 great months of summertime fun with World Championship Wrestling. Fun for the fans, fun for us. But if you're Paige or Savage or you're Mongo or Kevin Green, or maybe Flair and Piper or the Outsiders, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be pretty tough for you.
Well, you know, the Outsiders, they're trying to start a lot of friction. They're trying to split the ranks of Piper and Flair, so they're going to think they're going to have fun, but I don't think it'll happen. When it comes time for Flair to have fun, everyone has fun.
That's true. Right now, though, one of the horsemen, Benoit, not having fun as he is down face on the mat and being overwhelmed the opening moments of this match by Dave Taylor. Dave Taylor, like Steven Regal, dropped the Lord or the Squire moniker because they are very embarrassed and upset about the recent turn of events over the past couple of years with the royal family. With Fergie, they want to really distance themselves from that. But in the ring, they're royalty. There's no doubt about that, or nobility. These 2 men are great, and here comes Benoit firing back now, Brain.
No doubt about it, and he has got one thing on his mind, and his name is Sullivan.
Kevin Sullivan. He's had to go through a lot to get a match with Kevin Sullivan.
Has he ever?
But he will get his match. There's no doubt about it. Sooner or later, Sullivan, who took a sabbatical, self-imposed.
To get his head straight.
Yeah.
To get his head straight. Where'd he go, Jurassic Park?
Yeah. He'll never get his head straight. You know that, and I know that.
Well, there's nothing in there but evil thoughts all day. You know, his family has nothing to do with him. He's beaten up his family many times. He likes to beat them up on holidays, brothers and stuff.
Not a nice man.
No, he isn't.
Yeah, I know brothers fight when they're younger, but older?
Oh, it's not over an erector set or a ball glove or something. It's over serious stuff at Sullivan's, like a buffalo wing or something like that he wants to have.
That's serious stuff.
To him it is.
Benoit does not care about the past. He is thinking about the future, and for Benoit, his future is to get in the ring with Sullivan once again. Meanwhile, he turns around and fires up on Dave Taylor, and Taylor goes head first to the mat now.
And Dave Taylor is no slouch by any means, like you said, former British Empire champion. Man, very knowledgeable in that ring, but this man, the Crippler, is just overpowering. You notice when he hits you, Tony, he didn't draw back and nail you with that big punch that just rocks you. He hits you with about 5 or 6 short ones that can knock you out. It's the velocity of the way he throws those punches.
Putting up on the leg, and the Crippler, instead of just trying to get out of there, and the referee certainly calling for the break, just puts a crossface on to try to muscle his way out. But there's the European-style uppercut, and as you can see, it's rocking Benoit back and off his feet here.
Well, it really does. You know, you're bent over to begin with, and then when you're hit across the chest there, it just takes all your wind out of you. Sometimes it gets you in the jaws, it jacks your jaw. You get a funny taste in your mouth. You can't really see real well.
Very descriptive there, Brain.
They don't feel good.
There's the Crippler crossface.
I had a waitress give me one in London once.
And you probably deserved it. And with the Crippler crossface.
Oh, I deserved it.
I'm sure you did. Benoit,
no doubt about it,
is your winner, and there's a very happy woman, Nancy, if you want to call her by her first name, at ringside, as the Crippler wins again. He wants to put that cross face on Sullivan, and I can tell you, he won't let it go once he gets it on.
Well, you got to be very, very careful of Kevin Sullivan, because wherever Kevin Sullivan is, Jacqueline's usually pretty close by.
That's right.
And woman, I don't care how devious you are, or how long your fingernails are, or how sharp the heel on your shoe is, Jacqueline is one tough customer.
Wow.
Be careful, woman. Be careful. There's Benoit. Crossface. Takes the Squire down. Squire has to give up. There's just no place to go. Look at the pressure on the lower spine. Across the upper face area. There's your winner from the Horsemen, Benoit.
Come on back with us on Worldwide.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline.
Worldwide Wrestling continues, and it's good to have you with us. We're going to be talking a lot about the Great American Bash coming your way on the 15th of June. Right now, one of the great veterans in our sport, truly known nationwide, worldwide, as one of the heaviest hitters. And that's where the name Hammer comes from, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah, they say when he hits you across the chest, just like his father used to. The great Johnny Valentine, he hit you so hard they said it felt like you were hit with a sledgehammer.
Greg Valentine to face Johnny Swinger in this one-on-one matchup, Brain.
Well, Mr. Swinger's in there with no doubt a veteran. You got to be careful of the Hammer. He's been up and down the roads. He's been through those ropes. He's been on that mat. He knows this sport.
All right, here we go. Swinger and Valentine. There's Nick Patrick reinstated and refereeing again. How about that?
They're watching him, though, I think. I still think they're keeping a pretty close eye on him.
Want to remind you that WCW's Great American Bash comes to Moline, Illinois, the Mark of the Quad. That's the venue. That's the site of this live pay-per-view spectacular. But for you fans all around the world, all across the country, the only way you can see this mega event is on pay-per-view. And the way you do that is very simple. You call your local cable operator or satellite dish subscriber and say, I want to see Paige Savage 2, and I want to see the Great American Bash exclusively on pay-per-view on Sunday, June 15th.
Valentine, he's known for he wants the match to go a long time. He wants you to fight him. He wants you to pound him. Because the longer the match goes, the tougher this guy gets. He don't get warm till sometimes after the 35-minute mark.
Elbow in the back of the head by Valentine. There's a little bit of the hammer maneuver. So much power and force in the back of the head, and Valentine shoved Johnny Swinger outside.
Well, Johnny, you may be swinging from the arms of Mr. Valentine when he's done. Listen to this.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. That not only sounded, that felt bad. You could feel it. Like sound waves crushing through the arena. The Hammer, Greg Valentine, the fans showing him a lot of respect, giving him a lot of cheers here, and that's certainly a celebration of a wonderful career he's had through many years in the sport, and seemingly just getting better. Pick up, good move by the Hammer, sending the man back to the mat.
Great physical condition, and he knows what to do in that ring.
Big elbow drop, 1, 2, 3. Been known to call that elbow drop the brain buster elbow. The Hammer, Greg Valentine, dominates this match here on Worldwide, right?
No doubt about it. There's your winner, the man from Seattle, Washington. He's had some battles. One tough customer, no doubt about it. Probably held just about every major title in this sport. Mr. Swinger's going to know it when he wakes up in the morning, sees those big marks across his chest. I've been in there with the Hammer.
His name is Greg Valentine. We have 6-man action to come, and we'll take you back to Nitro. But right now, listen to this. Some great high-flying, entertaining Lucha Libre style action on WCW Worldwide. It's time for a 6-man tag. How about that?
Either that, or we at the bullfight, amigo.
No, Brain, you know, I don't know if they're going to use Lucha Libre rules here or not, but if that's the case, then they don't have to tag. It's going to be the team, as you're seeing right now, of Juventud Guerrero, Psychosis, and Liz Mark Jr. There they are, and Mark Curtis trying to tell them what side to go to, and once the thing gets going,
it won't matter.
That's right, it's not going to matter much.
You better tell them which side of the ring to get in if they all go out on the floor.
Their opponents,
they'll take the fight any place.
Another trio from Mexico, and 3 of the most successful. There's Viano 4, Galaxy, and Syncope.
It's got one headlight.
It's a mask, okay?
Excuse me. Of course it's a mask. Nobody's eyes that high.
Liz Mark and Viano 4 will begin things. And Viano 4 wasting no time getting the offense started here. We've seen some sensational maneuvers and counter maneuvers from these Mexican wrestlers, especially Hector Garza, brand new star that we've seen from Mexico over the past couple of weeks, who is not involved in this one. Look at that backdrop, or backflip. But that time, great running clothesline by Viano 4. In the ropes, ducking low now.
You know, I think the thing we forget more than anything is the tremendous conditioning these wrestlers from south of the border are in. I mean, they take a heck of a pounding and beating. And boy, they don't quit.
And no one exemplifies that more than Rey Mysterio Jr. There's a 2 count. Lismark almost had a win. There's going to be a tag here, so it's straight 6-man tag rules. It's Galaxy and Psychosis in now. Got a drop kick. Viano 4 is in. I don't know what this is all about. There's a side headlock.
Do they tag?
Well, I thought they were not going to, and then they did, and now they didn't, so heck, I don't know. Reverse back kick that time, and a big running lariat. Outside goes Viano 4 and Psychosis.
Psychosis always looked like Hank Bundy to me.
And now, 2 more men are in. As 2 men are out, it's Juventud and Galaxy. Up, power bomb, old mania there. Elbow drop.
Tony, this may sound stupid to you, but who's legal?
There's no legal man in Lucha Libre Wrestling. They're all legal.
Whoa! He didn't know where he was. He almost went out backwards, turned real quick, stumbled out of the ring.
He sure did, head first. Lismark, the remaining man with Syncope, up, shoulder block, and a forearm shot, and now Syncope up top. That's what Lismark wants. Arm drag from the top rope down.
I would just gouge his eye.
Why not? Handspring. Backflip moonsault. 1, 2, 3.
He got him. Wouldn't have happened if he had 2 eyes.
Lismark Jr., Juventud Guerrera and Psychosis are your winners. And Brain there, the only 2 men remaining in the ring. Lucha Libre style wrestling, and your winners on Worldwide.
Now do they get to cut their ears off?
Oh, for crying out loud.
They do it bullfights.
All right, well, the action just keeps on coming on Worldwide Wrestling. How about that breathtaking 6-man tag we just saw? And now some singles competition featuring one of the great veterans, Hector Guerrero, and the United States champion, Dean Malenko.
Look at that face on Guerrero. Look, he should be in a bag of chips.
You have nothing nice. You've never had anything nice to say about the entire Guerrero family. Mother, father, Hector, Eddie, Chavo Jr., Chavo Sr., nothing.
Okay, they're not as ugly as their Aunt Consuelo. How's that?
See, you always got to see something. No.
You speak Spanish also?
No, that's not what I'm saying. You forget it.
See.
Here comes the Iceman himself, Dean Malenko, United States Heavyweight Champ, Brain.
Never changed his expression. I doubt if he ever sweat. Steps through those ropes and knows exactly what he's got to do. He's got to get Dean Malenko in a position to win. That's all the man cares about. It's all he's lived for. It's all he's been trained to do. His whole life is wrestle. And that's what he does best.
Let's not forget, fans, that the Great American Bash is next Sunday. That's June 15th. The event available exclusively on pay-per-view. Page Savage 2, no disqualification, many other great matches. You need to call your local cable operator right now and inquire about getting the event in your home. Satellite dish owners, you can call your respective number, DirecTV, Turner Premier. Be part of all the excitement, all the action of WCW's Great American Bash, Sunday night, June 15th, 7 o'clock Eastern, and available exclusively on pay-per-view.
You know, Tony, I believe Hector is the older brother of Eddie Guerrero. What do you hear about his update on his physical health?
Well, Eddie had been injured and had torn pectoralis muscle in his chest and had been on the shelf for a while, but Eddie will be making his way back very soon, we understand.
Well, there's no love lost between Malenko and the Guerreros.
No, that's putting it mildly. As a matter of fact, because of the problems that existed between Eddie and Dean Malenko, Malenko had on occasion tried to take out Hector or Chavo Jr.
Why would you want to take out Hector? Imagine sitting with him the whole evening, shooting the breeze with him.
That's not what I'm talking about. I didn't mean on a date. I mean, you know, shot in the back of the head, knock him out, take him out of wrestling.
Yeah, I like that.
Here. He's a knucklehead is what he is, and I got to work with him. Snapmare takeover. And driving the point of the elbow down, the forearm, Dean Malenko. Everything with perfection.
And do not get Hector Guerrero confused.
No, you're confused. We only need one confused person per program. Why?
He is Hector Guerrero,
yes.
Professional wrestler.
Yes, of course he is. We know that.
He is not son of Zorro.
Cover 1 count only.
He looks like him with the stash and everything.
Cover again. You're not even funny now, Brain. And Malenko out. Not only does Malenko know so many holds, but he can apply them with perfection. He knows how to put them on.
You know, there's
a roll-up by Hector. Got a 1 count.
I hate to make the comparison because Page is not a polished wrestler. He's a fighter.
Yeah.
But his hold, the diamond cutter, is a lot like Malenko. He can put that on from a lot of different ways, a lot of different angles, and a lot of different positions.
When you have a maneuver like the diamond cutter, you only need one. Because it doesn't matter what happens if he has it on you. He's got it. Look at this maneuver. It's like a Kiwi leg roll here that we've seen before. Hector has won matches with that on this program. But this time, Malenko catches the bottom rope, and that stops that.
So Hector's done this move before.
Yeah, he's won matches on this program.
That's what they mean.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I heard the other day somebody said you got to be careful of the Guerreros. They'll roll you.
Up on top, and a good maneuver by the United States champion.
It looks like we may be going to Texas.
That's what it appears to be. Step through, over, and Hector in a tough spot here. And this one is over.
But Tony, notice how strong the legs were on Guerrero. Malenko couldn't sit down. Guerrero fought it that much. And I think the more he fought it, the worse it was, and he wasn't going anyplace. Should have just said, yeah, it's over. There'll be another day.
Dean Malenko, the United States champion, continues the win streak. And it's our Castrol Torture Test of the Week.
Well, Malenko wants Eddie Guerrero. That's the Guerrero he wants. But he'll take any Guerrero anytime he can get him. So it looks to me like Malenko won, Guerrero's nothing. Bring on the next Guerrero. He'll go through the whole family. Because that man, the United States champion, right there, the winner, Dean Malenko, wants Eddie Guerrero.
Castrol GTX, the motor oil that stands up to the most torturous conditions. Right now on Worldwide Wrestling, we invite you to listen to this. Still to come in this telecast, a tag team main event exclusive, Harlem Heat against High Voltage. It's a big one for both teams, and we'll be bringing you that here in just a few moments. Speaking of big ones, Brain.
Got a big one coming up right here.
Ice Train, Roadblock, one-on-one. Roadblock will come in as one of the heaviest and biggest in our sport. Speaking of big, you know, we've touched on the tag team and our stand-up and our tag team event at the Great American Bash next Sunday. Let's talk about Steve Mongo McMichael going one-on-one against Kevin Green for a minute. What implications that match has. What a big match that's going to be next Sunday at the Great American Bash, live and on pay-per-view, Bray.
You know, I feel very sorry for Kevin Green. I believe he's in a game now he doesn't know how to play. He's got to think back and remember this man. Steve Mongo McMichael started every game for the Chicago Bears and never missed one. He's that tough, that durable. He now gets into professional wrestling, becomes a member of the Horsemen. Why? Because they wanted him as a member. Ric Flair saw the potential in that man. Now the man goes out and he beats up and he beats up and he beats up Reggie White. Kevin Green. You may be Kevin Red when he's done with you. Think about it.
Well, you know, the Reggie White match, there's a lot more than you just heard from the Brain fans about that. And certainly Reggie's going to have his day against Mongo again. The fact is, Kevin Green, pro football's top sack leader. Number one.
Yeah, but he's got 10 other guys helping him.
Well,
He's going to have nobody help him when he's in there with Mongo. It's just going to be no pads, no helmets, nothing.
And a cover by the big guy, Roadblock, who wanted to get a quick win, and he and Mickey J with a little argument ensuing here.
Now this Roadblock's got to be what? Over 400 pounds.
400 pounds.
And his weight is not distributed proportionally, right?
Obviously
That is the man Lex Luger tried 3 times to pick up in the torture rack. Couldn't do it the first 2. Third time, reached down. I don't know where he got it from, and put that man, that big Roadblock there, right across his shoulders in that torture rack. That gave me new respect for Lex Luger.
Yeah. And it did many people as well, Brain. You're right. Good point.
I don't like the guy, but...
you don't like anybody, really.
Yes, I do. I like a lot of people. And you're not one of them, Tony.
Ice Train trying to mount a comeback here.
There should be a fatality when you see Roadblock trying to stop this Ice Train.
Wow, look at this. Big guy hit a steam again. Couldn't get him down.
And look at Teddy Long out there. Oh, so one more time. He'll go down. Last call. I'll have another.
Roadblock staggering to the center of the ring, and...
He didn't get him good, but he got him good enough.
Sure did. Roadblock again.
Well, you don't really realize how massive
Look
this
at
Ice
this.
Train is.
Ice Train tried to pick him up.
Good luck.
And with ease, Roadblock sends Ice Train down.
Teddy Long looks a little concerned. His meal ticket's getting slammed.
Train him, try it again. Oh my! The Train ring. It's over. That is what you call digging down deep, Brain, just like you were talking about with Lex Luger.
Well, he realized he was in there with a big, big, tough guy and a big, heavy man. He wasted no time.
Your winner is Ice Train. Main event time next on Worldwide.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Motel 6. The new Motel 6 is renovating across America. Call 1-800-4-MOTEL-6 for reservations. Danger, high voltage.
And Danger, there's a tag team war brewing, and we've got it for you on Worldwide. One of the top young, as we say, use the old term or cliche, up-and-coming tag teams.
They're right there.
They're right there. They're no more up-and-coming. They've gotten a lot of wins over the past couple of months.
They're knocking on the door.
High voltage, and what should be a supreme test of their power and confidence.
Now this guy right here, he's
Chaos.
Chaos. You know he told me the other day? He said, thank goodness for Thomas Edison. He said, had he not invented the light bulb, we'd be watching TV in the dark. That's what the guy tells me.
He told you that?
He told me that. And meant it.
Wow.
Set his finger in the socket a few times.
Well, you're not kidding, he has. Now, the opponents here, like we said at the top of the program,
are bad.
And many times over, World Tag Team Champions, taking exception to the fact that they are not considered top contenders. They feel that they are being slighted. They feel that they should be the #1 contenders, not the Steiners. And that's the sore point with the duo and the lady there, Sister Sherry. Here they come, and it's hard really to discount these two. And it's hard really, you know, when you talk about the Steiners and Harlem Heat, and you say #1 contenders, it's really a tough choice. It really
Jump
is.
ball.
Yeah.
I mean, say what you want about the Steiners. They're not the brightest 2 guys walking this earth, but they'll fight you all day and night, and they do have a tremendous, impressive win-loss record. If you look at Harlem Heat, on the other hand, they'll fight you too all night. And they've been in the trenches here at WCW. They've had ups, they've had downs, they've had trouble with Sherry, they've had her back, they've been knocked out of the tag team picture, they've had the titles, and I'm telling you, they're ready to explode again. They're both knocking on the door. Steiners and Harlem Heat.
Nick Patrick, the referee, assigned. We mentioned earlier he had been reassigned by James J. Dillon, reinstated, so to speak, on a probationary period. And I think we're now, 2 weeks into this probationary period, and so far everything's on an even keel. He's done a good job. He's back to that.
Has he done a good job, or they just haven't caught him yet?
Well, oh, come on, Brain. He's a very assertive, no-nonsense guy. Guys that when you were in the sport as a wrestler and a manager did not like, and that's why you like to knock him.
But he caught me.
Of course he did.
He never caught me, but people like him caught me.
Yeah.
I like to be caught.
And right now, Rage is caught in the corner because we are seeing Stevie Ray, the big guy of Harlem Heat, just pummel the man. And there's your no-nonsense referee warning Stevie Ray. Reversal. Got the foot up, and as the man really moved his head away, Stevie Ray kicked him in the chest, lariat rundown that time.
You know, Stevie Ray lumbers around that ring. Big, powerful man. He's extremely fast, though.
Oh,
very fast.
They are
Now look at
exceptionally
Sherry.
quick.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
What
I
about?
don't mean to interrupt
I'd
you.
rather
I don't
not.
mean to interrupt you. You know that, Tony. I wouldn't do that. You know, I apologize for that, Tony.
Well, let me
Golly.
say,
Go ahead, Tony. Wrap it up.
let me start talking right now. Can I talk now?
No. I was going to tell you, you know, Tiger Woods, look, he's going to have a whole line of clothes coming out. And I hear there are people interested in putting a line of Sherry's clothes up. Wouldn't that be something? Go ahead, Tony. Take it.
Down goes Rage.
That was good.
Well,
Down goes Rage.
Thank you, Jet. Would you stop? Knee to the back by Chaos, and this young duo getting their licks in here, Brain.
And all the maneuvers they're throwing at you, they're throwing at you with authority. They're not laying back anymore. They're not young guys that are intimidated. You're not going to see that line of clothes on her.
Confidence. You mean Tiger Woods' clothes on Sherry?
No. I mean, that great athlete, Tiger Woods, great golfer, has his own line of clothes. Why shouldn't she have something in, like, vinyl?
Yeah. Today you've got black vinyl, and tomorrow you've got black leather. Then black sequins. Holy smokes. What are you talking about?
Well, styles
She
do
no
change.
more needs a line of clothes than I do. Oh, great move that time. And a cover. One only.
Keeps the Naga hunters busy. These things just come into my mind, you know. I'm the brain.
You're the brain. You certainly are. Here's a double team, and now the former tag team champs getting on track here, Brain.
You know, talking about tag team wrestling. How do you think the team of Piper and Flair are going to cohabitate with their egos and knowing the propaganda that the NWO's trying to garbage up?
I think they'll be very successful. I think anytime you underestimate two of the biggest superstars in the history of our sport, like those two, you're making a big mistake.
And imagine this. What history would be made if Ric Flair and Roddy Piper became World Tag Team Champions?
Be awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh, think of that.
Good maneuver. Standing sidekick, or as they call it, the Harlem sidekick. And that was awesome. 1, 2. But the young man, Chaos, kicks away.
I didn't think he'd be getting up.
I didn't either.
I didn't think he'd be getting up with help. I mean, he took his head off with that move.
It's one of the premier moves from Booker T. There's another warning by Patrick.
And I'll tell you something about the Steiner brothers and also Harlem Heat and also Flair and Piper. They'll wrestle anybody. But Harlem Heat and the Steiners, they've had some tough matches with other opponents. They've gone through everybody, and they haven't backed down from one challenge. They have fought constantly since they come into WCW.
Now Rage is trying to maybe slow this thing to a halt, grinding down here, pulling on the arm, pulling back.
So, you know, you had the man face down. You had a good hold on him. You had him going no place. Now was your time to get your wind back, get a little rest, keep him on the ground, keep him on that mat, make him breathe heavy. But that all will come with experience. And if it don't, then there'll never be anything.
In the corner, and this is the double team maneuver that all great tag teams use. Exchange in and out, tag, quick tags here.
You know where tag team wrestling started?
Why don't you enlighten me, Brain?
Australia.
Australian tag team rules, right?
No, Polish tag team rules in Australia, of course. No, Australian tag team rules.
Okay.
You ever wrestle a kangaroo?
I've never wrestled anyone. Anything. So there. And Nick Patrick with a warning here, and I think what we're seeing here is a good attempt by this young duo of double teaming, but they're a little bit now, I think they've kind of gotten lost here, a little bit one step removed, not as smooth as they should be.
Well, what happened was Harlem Heat went out there and they just took it to him right from the beginning and just threw their game plan off. Most good teams always have two game plans and a third one in the wings. just to protect your tail, if you know what I mean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you always know when you go in there what you'd like to do to your opponents. If that don't work, you got another plan. If that fails, you're in real deep trouble. Use the third plan, which is usually bail out or have some added help if you need it.
When you were managing, your game plans were cheat, and if that doesn't work, cheat some more. If that doesn't work, run.
Bribe 'em.
Run. Or bribe them. There you go. Forearm shot, fist to the face, and here is Stevie Ray. Scoop slam of the big guy. Harlem Heat, Stevie Ray, dominating now.
Oh,
Foot to the face. That was on target. And Rage spills on the near side. Up. It's time for the Big Apple. He won't be getting up.
today.
That's why they're top contenders. I don't know what it is. Call them number one contender, call them number two contender. What does it matter?
But don't call them right.
Nope.
I told you I was going to knock somebody out.
Dominating win by Harlem Heat. Go ahead, Frank.
Are they trying to quit smoking, wearing those things on their noses?
No, you know better than that. Would you please get to the replay? Go ahead.
Harlem Heat spinning to his eye, going ahead, spinning to his feet, knocking Chaos right off his feet. Shoots him in. This is about the beginning of the end here for Chaos. Look at this. Look at the height. How high he gets up there. Whacks him right across the yap, and your winner, Harlem Heat.
The big win, Harlem Heat, who are the number one contenders to the World Tag Team title, an issue that's soon to be settled very, very soon. But Brain, now let's take a look at next week's program. WCW Worldwide Wrestling comes your way next week. Prince Iakea will be with us in singles competition.
And two of the brightest guys walking the street, Steiners.
They'll be with us in tag team action. Jeff Jarrett and the lovely Deborah will be here as well next week, Brain.
And the female heartthrob at WCW, Chris Jericho, will be here.
He's called the Lionheart for the Brain and Tony Schiavone. See you next week on Worldwide Wrestling.
See ya.
It's Worldwide Wrestling, and this week, my good friend Bobby the Brain will give us the rundown. Go ahead, Brain.
Well, you see the Prince there right now. Prince Iakea is going to be here.
You messed it up already. It's Prince Iakea.
Close enough.
And they're the Canadians. And there's Rey Mysterio Jr.
Just a minute, I can tell you.
The Public Enemy will be with us.
Now, wait a minute.
You've lost your job, fella. And Chris Jericho next. All right, Brain, I'm sorry. We'll let you talk right now. Welcome to Worldwide Wrestling on this Great American Bash weekend. This Sunday, the pay-per-view spectacular. Savage, Page 2, the main event, no disqualification. And, as we've talked about before, you never know when Sting is going to show up in WCW. Talk, please.
You're right about that. Thank you for allowing me to speak, Mr. Schiavone. No, you're right. You don't know where Sting's going to be. But you know wherever Hogan is, that's where Sting's going to be. Now, I don't know where Hogan's going to be, but Sting is tracking him. So if you see Hogan, if you see any members of the NWO, there's a good chance that man, Sting, will be coming from the ceiling, or coming from the sewers, or coming from a doorway. You got to keep your eyes, you got to look. Too many things can happen to us.
Okay, we'll do some looking at fans. Before we do that, stay out of there, please. Let's go to the ring on Worldwide Wrestling. We began with some great singles action this week on Worldwide Wrestling. Great crowd on hand for the superstars of WCW.
Now, Tony, how do you pronounce this joker's name?
Well, first of all, he's not a joker. He's a former television champ. It's pronounced Iakea.
Iakea. It's not Iakeu.
Iakea.
Or Iakea. Iakea. You know, in the Polynesian alphabet, there's only like 4 letters. It's all L's, M's, and a U. It's not hard to mess up a name like that.
Iakea.
It's an eye chart.
There you saw it right there. Jerry Flynn.
Flynn I can get.
Yeah, Flynn is how you pronounce his last name. The opening bout here. And Scott Dickinson, the referee. You're looking at two fine young athletes in our sport. Later on this telecast, we'll be talking more about the big event this Sunday, the Great American Bash. And Savage Page 2. The whole world waiting for that one, Brain.
Well, you know, their first encounter, you saw what happened. Randy Macho Man Savage had to use crutches for a couple weeks, had a ligament damage to his leg. You saw Diamond Dallas Page had to go in for acupuncture. His whole back shoulder was all tore apart. I mean, they went at each other.
Oh!
And Diamond Dallas and Savage 2 should be all it's cranked up to be.
Standing back kick that time by Flynn. Now drives the knee to the top of the head. Flynn, well schooled in the martial arts. A kickboxing expert is what he is. Look at that.
Well, he rocked his little ponytail, didn't he? You know exactly what island the Prince is from.
1, 2.
It's not like Manhattan Island, somewhere around the Bronx, is it?
I think he may be from Tonga. In the ropes, the Prince over the top. Oh, boy.
Or that other island, just a little south of Tahiti. Come on and get off here and go fishing or something like that. It's not that far, but it's all alike, you know, they're all just trees, sand, and flies. You know.
Whatever. Prince going in with reckless abandon that time and a running lariat by Jerry Flynn.
See, now Flynn shouldn't waste his time here right now. This man, Iakea, is a former television champion. It'd be beneficial to Flynn to get a quick victory over this guy as soon as he can. That would help his credentials a lot.
Spinning, standing side kick that time.
Forget the referee, Flynn. You can beat him all day long. It won't matter. Stay on the Prince.
Back leg front kicks are on target here.
Very tight-knit family the Prince is from, you know.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they named him after their dog.
Backhand chop by Prince Iakea.
You know his other brother, Rex? His sister, Spot?
You stop. Great American Bash this Sunday.
They can bring in the paper in the morning. Funniest thing you've ever seen.
Shut up, please. 9 big matches for you exclusively on pay-per-view. And Ric Flair and Rowdy Piper and a chance to go after the World Tag Team Championship.
But you know, the Hall and Nash outsiders, they're not going to make it into a regular match. They're not going to risk their title being on the line for anything like that. They've got a master plan. Bischoff's behind it. Hogan's behind it. Everybody in the NWO's behind it. Something big's going to happen at this pay-per-view.
It's going to be a big one. At the Mark of the Quad in Moline, Illinois. Here's a 2 count that time. And I tell you, as our fans look on, Flynn looks in pretty good shape here. There's Iakea firing back, rebounding. There's a great lariat of his own. That one took the big guy up off the mat.
Looks like he's a little frustrated, like he's tried everything on the Prince and he just can't get a game plan down. Oh!
Version of the Samoan drop from the far ropes.
Like a cheap ride at a fair.
Drop kick. The Prince. This is where he lives. This is his element right here. Brain. Crossbody 1, 2, 3. How about that, Bobby the Brain?
Well, so much for Mr. Flynn. He had an opportunity there on a few occasions. Didn't capitalize on it. This man's back on his winning streak. The Prince here. He wants to regain that television title, U.S. title, world title, tag title, any title he can get his hands on. That's where you make the money. Let's get another look at it here. Prince shoots and Flynn. Beautiful move here. Could have had the man, I would have thought. Knocked all the wind out of him. Prince going to that top rope. Sets himself. He's ready. Swan dive. Look at the hang time on this man. And there he is. Your winner, Prince Iapuku.
Iakea.
Close.
Next, the amazing French Canadians and more WCW action on Worldwide Wrestling.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline.
Worldwide Wrestling on this great American Bash weekend. Summer is here. You know, the summertime, you think about cookouts, picnics, outings, going out with your family, vacations.
Not me.
Well, I'm sure you don't. If you think about the great American Bash, to celebrate the summertime fun this Sunday.
Amazing French Canadians are absolutely magnificent.
And I wanted to make sure I talked a lot about the United States, America, when the Canadians were coming out here.
Well, I hope we're in for a treat. I hope they grace us with their singing.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm really. You gotta listen. You may have a tin ear, Tony. Maybe you don't know. These guys got some talent. These guys got some talent. The Claude Rains of WCW.
Who else do you like? What other music do you like? If you like these guys.
Oh, there's a lot of great groups out there.
Oh, really? There are opponents, the young duo of High Voltage, making their way here to the ring.
Now this would be a great, great win for High Voltage if they can do it. They need a win like this to shoot them right back up there in tag team competition.
Here they come, High Voltage.
Like I said, they're only a couple wins away from being major, major stars in this sport. They're young, they're in great shape, and they're nuts.
And you like it, don't you? Like
Yeah.
it? I mean, hey, when you think of nuts, who do you think about? Macho Man Randy Savage?
Yes, definitely, definitely the head cashew.
So it's High Voltage, the Amazing French Canadians. This is a big, important match for them.
I think they're going to grace us, Tony. I think we're lucky enough.
We would appreciate if you bunch of hillbillies would stand up and join us in the singing of the greatest national anthem.
Oh, are we lucky people? Hit it!
Boy, I would agree with that.
I can name that in 10 notes.
Holy Moses, the
Touch all the bases. You just hit a home run for us.
Shut up and sit out.
I mean, even Sinatra couldn't sing with millions and millions of people booing you.
Let's remind the fans that you can join us for the Great American Bash this Sunday by calling your local cable operator and making sure you make the appropriate phone call and order the Great American Bash exclusively on pay-per-view. Available on satellite dish, of course, or the mini dish. Don't miss the Great American Bash this coming Sunday, the 15th of June. Exclusively on pay-per-view from your friends at World Championship Wrestling.
Colonel, give him the orders. You're the man in charge. Well, this is a big man here.
Oh boy, I tell you, Carl Willett, one of the most agile 300-plus pound men you'll find. Pick up. Dropped him on the back of his head, and that was nicely done.
You know, they wanted him to play pro hockey. He refused. He says, it's a sissy sport. Too many pads you have to wear.
Oh, for Christ, I don't believe that.
That's what he told me.
Whoa, great maneuver that time. Cover 1-2. Got a 2 count, and Rougeau now takes one in the head from Rage. And now Chaos working on Willett. Pick up.
Now, who's the legal man?
Well, I think it's Chaos.
I think it's Rage.
When you go in there, you be ready. I'm going to throw you this flag and you use it.
You hear that?
Yes, we did.
Did you hear that?
Going to throw him the flag, and
And you use it. You don't hear this stuff anyplace else.
how about that?
Oh!
Flying body attack from the top cover. Rage. There's the flag. There's the flag.
Plant it.
Oh! How about that little eavesdropping? And a cover. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Canada.
Well, they sing better than you.
That wasn't me singing. That's the truck.
The truck thing. The Amazing French Canadians use the flag to their benefit and win on Worldwide Wrestling. Still to come, the sensational Rey Mysterio Jr. plus a lot more. Right now, worldwide on this Great American Bash weekend.
Me.
Please listen to this. The Great American Bash this Sunday. Big event. 9 matches. It's going to be awesome. Ric Flair, Rowdy, Roddy Piper together. 2 of the legendary figures in the sport. 2 of the top superstars of all time. And a chance to become World Tag Team Champs, Ray.
There's a tough, tough man right there, Bob Eaton from Huntsville, Alabama. Nice hairdo on those ladies.
Would you leave our fans alone?
Grand Ole Opry's in town, huh?
Stop. Bob Eaton and Johnny Swinger. in this one-on-one matchup.
I like this Johnny Swinger, cocky. No, I like a guy's attitude like that. New in the sport, we want everybody to know just who you are. Doesn't always work for a lot of people, but it's built in and you're naturally cocky. It can't hurt you.
Neutral position, they're back into the corner. And Johnny Swinger now trying to get an early advantage. How about this? Being very aggressive here, Brain.
Boy, and he got Bobby Eaton down real quick. If he stays on him, he can maybe have a big upset right here.
Good slam pickup, put him down hard.
But Eaton's a very, very hard man to beat. You know, he knows probably more about tag team wrestling than anybody, him and Arn Anderson.
Whoa, power slam.
And he's one tough customer. He can punch you real short, real quick, and you're out for days. Oh.
Brain, what in the world do you think is going to be like this Sunday when the Macho Man and Diamond Dallas collide? Savage Page 2, this time no disqualification. It's going to be nothing less than wild.
Well, if you want to see a wrestling match and you want to see a man match his skills against another man's skills, you want to see hold versus hold, I suggest maybe you tune into some kid's show on television. You want to see a fight and maybe somebody's going to be missing body parts, that's what you're going to see, because Savage, all Savage can care about is his reputation now. And all Diamond Dallas Page wants to do is get his hands on the Macho Man for what they did to Kimberly, his wife.
It's going to be electric.
I mean, Savage pulled some of her hair out, he said.
Well, I'd rather not discuss that part of it. Right now, Swinger being manhandled back to the corner. Bobby Eaton sends him in. Trying to hip toss. Fans are loving this one, I tell you. Pick up. How about that? Hit scissor takedown.
See, but he turns his back. When you get a man like Eaton down with a combination like that, pal, take advantage of it.
We see that a lot in our sport, don't we? I mean, they just... Showboating, yeah.
Well, the fans are so loud and they scream so much and they're so noisy. Sometimes you're trying to tell them just keep it down a bit. You got to gather your thoughts. They keep getting louder here. Listen to them.
Head first.
Sometimes on Nitro, I can't hear for days afterwards. Did you know that?
What?
Huh?
Boy, they're chanting here tonight. They love...
What?
Would you stop? They love Bobby Eaton.
Yes, they do love me.
Bobby Eaton.
Eaton, he's in the ring.
Yes, he is. Johnny Swinger knows it as well as anyone. Eaton has that arm bar. Look at the leverage, the vertical base, pushing down. Bobby is the champ.
Well, they always do that for me.
No, they say weasel when you're around.
Those are the ignorant ones. And you know the NWO is going to be in the building at the pay-per-view, so
hey,
right there.
You know who may be in the building? Sting. This Sunday at the Great American Bash.
Well, he says that any place Hogan is, he's going to be. And you know what the importance of this match in the NWO? I wouldn't doubt if Hollywood was there.
Right.
He'll never tell anybody his plans or travel arrangements. He won't even tell his own people. He don't trust anyone.
Yeah, if I knew Sting was chasing me, I wouldn't let anybody know where I was going either. Pick up.
Oh!
Great backbreaker by Bobby.
Just floated him right over to his knee. I think he's going to go for the Alabama Jam.
Scoop slam, pointing up top.
I got some great friends at the University of Alabama.
You do?
Oh, yes.
Up on top.
Oh!
That wasn't a jam, but that was close.
That'll work.
1, 2, 3. And Bobby with a high-risk maneuver gets a big win on WCW Worldwide Wrestling. Fans love it. They're into this one. And Bobby Eaton celebrates a big win. Well, fans, still to come, Rey Mysterio Jr., Chris Jericho in our main event. But right now, though, this is a big moment for us. This is great to have Rey Mysterio Jr. on WCW Worldwide Wrestling. Our fans in Southern California following his career.
Well, he's going to be on the big card out there at the Great Western Forum on the 28th of June.
Yes, he is. As a matter of fact, that's in a couple of weeks. And our
that kid lost weight.
And you stop.
Sure used to fit him snug.
Our fans are coming out of the Great Western Forum. You know, Brain, we're all going to be out there. You're going to be there. I'm going to be there.
That's right.
We're going to try to prevent Lee Marshall from coming in the building, but that's a hard thing to do. Mike Tenay is going to be there. So there's Dave Heath. And so we look forward to seeing all of our fans on Saturday night, the 28th of June.
Look at the size difference here. Of course, he always gives away a lot, Mysterio.
Fans, we want to remind you that the Great American Bash pay-per-view is this Sunday. The event will originate from Moline, Illinois, at the Mark of the Quad, but the only way you can see this event is by making the appropriate telephone call right now. Call your local cable operator, satellite dish, or mini dish provider, and join us for the Great American Bash. Ric Flair, Piper together against Hall and Nash, Savage Page Part 2, and much more. The Great American Bash this Sunday, the 15th of June, and only on pay-per-view.
I would say this guy's about a head and a half bigger than Mysterio. Maybe 100 pounds heavier too.
Mysterio, that was a great move, but he couldn't get back to his feet.
Oh! Big man, whoever he is.
Look at Mysterio. Agility, shoulder block.
But you know, he's got experience, Mysterio.
Oh, yes, he does.
And he'll take any kind of a chance.
And he took one right there, Brain.
Oh!
Oh, my goodness! That probably should be a disqualification. Did he throw him over the top rope?
I think he lost him. He slipped off. I'll tell you this, Mysterio's taking a beating over since the time he's been here at WCW. Probably had more ice on him than than you know what.
Then a chilled bottle of wine.
No, I was thinking more of a Zamboni.
A pickup. Yeah, this guy, Heath, is using his size advantage. And he's having a good match here. He's right.
He's holding back a little here. You can't hold back with that guy, Mysterio.
Oh, boy. The bottom rope catapult that time.
My throat hurts, amigo.
Cover 1, 2. Sound effects supplied by the Brain.
What he's saying.
Amigo, my throat.
How long is it going to take you to come from your estate in Beverly Hills to the Great Western Forum in Inglewood on the 28th? Would you stop by the hotel and pick me up in your limousine?
Tony, there's no CAB written on the side of my car, pal. You're going to have to get there your best way. You see that thumb you got there?
Yeah.
Put it out in the curb. See what happens.
This thumb right here?
The longest thumb I've ever seen.
Look at our great fans on hand on WCW Worldwide Wrestling. Rey Mysterio has had to fight from behind here. And he's doing it again.
And he'll fight you, no doubt about that.
Mysterio.
There's a lot of fight in that package there, pal.
Well, you're not kidding. Where it comes from, I don't know. But a running lariat.
You know, this Heath, with a little more preparation, he could have had this match. I bet if he'd have known who his opponent was and prepared for it, because he's a big guy and he's taking it to him.
Yeah, he's wrestled a good match here, but he's been, as you said, Brain, very methodical.
You don't want to be too methodical with a guy like this. Now, you don't want to go up there or let Mysterio get up there. He's so quick. Wasting his time a little much.
That's going to change this match around.
To change your weekend around.
Up on top is Mysterio.
Oh!
1, 2,
He got him! A hard-fought win, no doubt about that.
Rey Mysterio Jr. proving once again that perseverance, determination, and heart wins out. Yes, you can. Go ahead. We'll talk to him later. And as we look at our fans appreciating what happened there, we go to the Brain for our replay.
Mysterio goes up here on top. His opponent, Mr. Heath, turns around, takes him off over that top rope. Crash landing he didn't want to take. referee position for the 1-2-3 count, your winner, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Still to come, Public Enemy and Tag Team Action and Chris Jericho La Parka. Right now, let's go to this. Well, it's time for Tag Team Action on Worldwide Wrestling, and this Sunday at the Great American Bash, the World Tag Team Championship will be on the line. And let's not forget now, we've been talking a lot about the great matches. Steve Mongo McMichael and Kevin Green, one-on-one.
That'll be interesting.
Wow, interesting. It's going to be exciting. An old football
What's that smell?
No.
Oh, Buck.
Oh, yeah, Buck out Buck. An old football rivalry rekindled between two of the greats, Kevin Green and Steve Mongo McMichael. And Hugh Morris and Conan. Who's this feller here with Punk Out Buck?
Hack Myers.
Hack Myers.
Yeah. You know his brother Oscar?
Oh. No, I don't.
I don't either. Obviously some hotel's missing a shower curtain. Got it on.
Here they come. Public Enemy.
And they'll party all night long.
Got it! We like the party! Got it! Go!
Well, here they come, and Brain, they have the table with them.
They do have a table.
You know, we have been seeing over the past, I guess, about 2 months now, referees in WCW allowing Public Enemy to use the table in the ring. And I can only wonder, the advent of James J. Dillon, even though he was severely beaten recently by the Macho Man Randy Savage, if in fact that JJ is going to look at this, and outside the ring after the match is one thing, and there you see the even X marks the spot.
Kind of the bullseye.
That's right. But use it in the ring to win the match is another deal altogether. I'm not so sure I agree with that.
Well, you know, the way things are here now in 1977, people are getting away with everything. They're getting away with...
Did you say 1977?
Yes.
That was 20 years ago.
1997, I
You
said.
said 77.
I just want to see if you were on guard.
Okay, I am on
see
guard.
if you knew where you were.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yankees
You still got a Monkeys album. That's not my problem.
Yankees beat the Dodgers in the World Series. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was 1977. Crying out loud. Well, it's like the strike zone in baseball is shrinking, kind of changing things around, and same thing here. I mean, a table in the ring 5 years ago was not allowed.
No. But now how are you going to stop some of these guys? NWO, they don't care. They'll do whatever they want. So they're kind of backing off. They're letting WCW guys kind of get away with stuff too. You have to. If you tie our hands, the NWO, what are they going to do? Take advantage of it.
Left hand by Hack Myers. This man has come to fight here.
Well, he hasn't come for a haircut. He's got a great one of those.
And Johnny Grimes a fighter as well. Irene White right back on the man. Here's Bunkhouse Buck, I tell you.
Good tag team work here.
Yes, it is.
Holds him in the front face lock, makes the tag, holds the man's arm up.
Speaking of great tag teams, the dispute continues and will be settled at the Great American Match this Sunday between the Steiners and Harlem Heat. Winner of the match will be the #1 contender, the World Tag Team title, and will face the winner of Flair Piper versus the Outsiders at our August pay-per-view extravaganza from Sturgis, South Dakota, Hog Wild.
They just keep on coming, don't they?
They sure do.
One right after the other.
Up on top. Oh, good maneuver by Grimes.
Hack Myers a big guy.
Grimes, though, needs to make a tag. Rocco Rock pounding away on the top turnbuckle. Right of your screen.
I saw Grimes last night getting out of a cab. Same way.
No, you didn't. Here's Rocco. Right hand. Buck. A right cross to the gut.
You don't want to match punches with Buck, though.
No, you're right, Brain. Pair of scoop slams there. Double team.
Goodbye, Buck.
He is still down. Hack Myers in. Midsection.
I got a hunch Mr. Myers is going to be feeling some lumber pretty soon.
Version of the DDT. The fans are calling for the table. And here it comes again. Once again, the rules being stretched, rewritten, if you will, because it's what the fans want to see, right?
The only thing I can come up with, let them do it. Let them have some fun.
Well, if you think about it, they are not really hitting them with the table.
Oh, no, they're just going through the table with a man on their back. Nothing wrong with that, Tony. Pin him on the table.
The table,
wake up,
obviously has become an extension of the ring. Not only can you use it, you can pin the man on it.
With the referee shouting, wake up if you can. You just went through a table. Courtesy of Public Enemy. Now where are they going?
They're going to celebrate, or they're going to potty with their fans in the stands here at Universal Studios, Florida. Now we go to Bobby the Brain Heenan, who will say bad things and rip on the fans. Go ahead, Brain.
Don't say anything bad about the fans. Fans look to me like they're having a pretty good time. Very young couple, though, by the way, but it's like they're having a good time. Is the kid's head crooked or his hat? But I didn't say that. There's a lot of people. There's going to be the rhythm section there, huh? Yeah, I must invite all these people to my home for a party. Especially that big woman on the end. She's good to have at parties, though. She's better to have a picnic. Keeps the flies off the food.
I apologize on behalf of WCW for the comments made by
I wonder if she charges a hunt a small home.
Would you stop, Bobby the Brain Heenan? Back with our main event after this timeout on Worldwide.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Motel 6. The new Motel 6 is renovating across America. Call 1-800-4-MOTEL-6 for reservations.
Main event time on Worldwide Wrestling. This Great American Bash Weekend. This could be one of your last opportunities to call us and join us for the big event. Call your local cable operator, satellite dish, mini dish provider, and join us for the Great American Bash, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, live and exclusively on pay-per-view. Top to bottom Brain, 9 gigantic matches signed. Me and Chris Benoit return death match. Wrath and Glacier again. Conan and Hugh Morris, former tag team partners, collide. We talked a lot about Green and McMichael and Hall and Nash against Piper and Flair, and of course, the world on edge for the no disqualification return match. Savage Age 2.
And we don't know if Sting's going to be in the house. If Hogan's in the house, Sting will be in the house. We don't know yet about Hogan, but all could break loose.
We look forward to bringing you this event this Sunday as part of WCW's Summertime Fun. It's going to be a summertime of the Great American Bash. In July, Bash at the Beach. In August, Hog Wild.
And you know, around September, I just may bash in your head.
Well, you bash it in every week right on this program, what you do.
I don't really bash people, Tony. I just get my point across in a different way.
La Parka did not waste any time running Larry at that time. And there you see Nick Patrick, who's the referee assigned for this one. La Parka, big high impact. Oh! Shoulder block takedown.
They say he may be the best looking man in wrestling, Chris Jericho.
Good maneuver. Arm drag takedown. Again.
Oh!
Cover after that standing side kick and a 2 count.
Jericho needs a haircut.
I happen to know that the young ladies like that hair on Chris Jericho.
Sure, they can Bauer his ribbons in his berets.
No, they think it looks up. Chris Jericho is a fine young man.
What makes you think so?
I know Chris. I've had a chance to spend a few hours with him, talking to him on the road. He's a great young man.
Dedicated, I know, to the sport.
Intense competitor. Here is a champion of the future right here, fans.
But that hair is gonna cost him a lot of matches. Somebody's gonna drops him right in his neck.
What about when Ric Flair 10, 20 years ago had that long hair and was world champion? No one said, oh, the hair's going to cost him some matches. It never did.
Well, the Flair had a different style. Flair had a different style. This guy, he tries to make everybody happy. Right in the face. Tries to make the fans happy. Smart move here, though. Couldn't shake the cobwebs in the ring, so he got out. I'm going to walk this one off a bit.
Oh, my goodness! Suicide dive! And Laparca hit his knee as he went out. And Jericho in a lot of pain, as you can see. And Nick Patrick may just throw this match out.
I don't think he can get back in the ring, Laparca.
Nick will go back in the ring at a miniature 10 count. We may have a double count out here.
2, 3.
We can count. 5. Back in at 7. Thank you. 1, 2. Got a 2 count. So they did make it back. And let's hear for perseverance and determination on both competitors here. That was a nasty spill from both men. Pick up a powerbomb. Oh, my.
Look at the time Laparca's waiting here. Look at the time he's wasting.
Covers him in. No, sir. Jericho left shoulder got up in the nick of time.
I imagine it'd be hard to breathe in a mask like that. Of course, they're used to it. Wears it every day.
Shoulder blocked. Up rolls forward. Sunset flip 2 only that time. Jericho blocked it. Again.
Jericho can punch.
He sure can. Picks him up. Oh, my goodness. 1, 2. No, sir. Jericho up and drilled.
See, too much time wasted by Laparca. You should have dropped a couple elbows, put a couple boots to him, then go up. Keep the man positioned. Don't let him move.
Missed the spinning body attack.
I don't think Laparca's going to be able to get up real quick from this one.
Jericho drop kick.
Took his time.
1, 2, 3. Celebrate for the fans here. And don't forget, the Great American Bash is this Sunday. We'll see you there, Brian.
No doubt about it. What a pay-per-view it's going to be. Tremendous.
And fans, on behalf of Bobby the Brain Heenan, I'm Tony Schiavone. See you next week on Worldwide Wrestling. Worldwide Wrestling from Universal Studios in Florida this week. Alex Ray will be with us in singles competition.
He's got a new change of attitude, and Rey Mysterio Jr. is here.
Speaking of attitudes, how about Steve Regal? Don't call him Steven anymore.
And the Iceman, the man of 1,000 holes, Steve Malenko's here.
In our main event against Chris Jericho, it's on next. And welcome to Worldwide Wrestling, along with the Brain, Bobby Heenan. I'm Tony Schiavone. And what about the duo coming to Bash of the Beach on the 13th of July? The duo I'm talking about, Hollywood Hulk Hogan and the Worm Dennis Rodman of the NWO.
Now, you've seen Rodman participate in sporting activities. You've seen how he's gotten up in everybody's face and how everybody's intimidated by the guy.
Right.
That's what he's going to do. That's what Hogan wants. Hogan wants a guy like Rodman to get up in the face of a Luger, of a Giant, to intimidate him. So then Hogan can sneak in through the side door and do his dirty damage. Hogan, you're a smart man, but you're not that smart. You got the wrong partner.
Always surrounds himself with henchmen, doesn't he?
Yep.
Thank you, to watch his back. Great program, including Dean Malenko on our main event against Chris Jericho. Let's go to the ring, the opening bout this week from Universal Studios, Florida, on Worldwide Wrestling. And now we go inside the arena, Brain, for some great World Championship Wrestling action. And you know, you mentioned right at the top of our program about the new attitude. We're going to be seeing the new attitude here in just a second. But right now, the youngster, great cruiserweight Billy Kidman making his way to the ring.
This kid Billy Kidman's going to be a good hand someday. He's going to be a good star if he watches himself. He does a lot of high-risk moves. He could get hurt.
That is what propelled him to be one of the top cruiserweights in the world. And you're right. May not be too long down the road before Billy Kidman is a cruiserweight champ. Now, here comes the man with that brand new attitude.
The man I've always liked.
Oh, you... Give me a break. You've never liked Alex Wright.
Are you kidding? The Wonder Kid? I've always admired this man's ability. And can he dance? How many people can get in one shirt, do you think?
Alex Wright back to dancing again and getting the boos of the fans as well.
Really, everybody here's got 2 left feet. They're jealous.
Alex Wright really loving himself. There is no question about that. And here he goes against Billy Kidman.
I'll tell you what I like about Alex Wright.
Oh.
He came here from Germany. He was humble. He was a nice kid. Everyone liked him. Didn't do him any good. They took advantage of him. He realizes the American way here. You've got to take what you want in this country because no one's going to give you anything.
Well, that's true. You've got to go after what you want, but there are certain parameters that a good person should follow, and he's not following those right now.
You're right, Tony, and a good person will always come in last.
You think so?
I know so. I have relatives that are good people.
And they're last?
Last on my list.
Alex Wright picks up. Billy Kidman, a big power bomb. 1-2, almost won it.
And you know, Tony, Alex Wright, he also possesses a lot of wrestling ability.
Yes, he does.
Plus, with the high aerial maneuvers he can do, the right person behind him, this guy can make himself a lot of money.
Great elevation on that jump by Billy Kidman. Jumped right over top of Alex and almost got a win that time. Right back to the attack once again. Sends him on the outside.
Go ahead.
I don't know what caused this. I mean, you say it's the education. You say the man is growing up. But I'm not so sure it's that. Becoming mature, or maybe there was one instance, one event that changed Alex Wright. I'm not so sure what happened, but King tonight being very aggressive here, Brain.
Well, I'll tell you what it is, and I've heard from other people that when this man goes on an airplane...
Wonder Punk, how about that? Go ahead.
Where did they pick up that? When he gets on a plane,
picked it up from you,
not from me.
Go ahead.
But when he gets on an airplane and goes to a hotel or goes to a restaurant or goes to a club, they always treat him as a second-rate citizen because he's not an American. And he's told other people that. He feels slighted. So he says, for me to get respect here, I'm going to have to act like an American. I will be rude. I will be abusive. And I will do what I want to do. Because it seems that's what gets by in this world here. Works for the NWO. It must work for him.
Amazing turnaround, amazing change, but he is still the great wrestler that we've come to know. Pick up of Billy Kidman. Kidman, great counter maneuver. Hold it down with a great arm drag, and look at that drop kick, if you will.
Put the brakes on, Alex. Time to put the wagons in a circle.
Kidman will send him to the neutral corner. Oh, boy. Kick chest, face first. That time, Billy Kidman. Running lariat.
Kidman's wasting a little too much time here, showboating. It's good to knock a man down. It's good to feel the exasperations of it, but don't look at those blank-faced humanoids and ask them for approval. You've got to win this match.
Oh, German suplex. 1, 2, 3.
He handled Mr. Kidman with kid gloves.
Oh, look at this. Using the German suplex, the bridge gets the pin, shoves the referee's hand down.
Das Wonder Wrestler. Alex Wright. I like his style now.
I believe you are the one that started the Wonder Punk moniker.
I would have never said anything like that about a man like that.
Go ahead there, Brain.
Alex Wright shoots Kidman in. Drops him with a big elbow. Kidman's in trouble here. German suplex from behind. And your winner, Das Wonder Kid, Alex Wright.
Still to come, Rey Mysterio Jr. and more. But right now, fans, we'll take a break and back with more on Worldwide.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline.
Welcome back, fans, to Worldwide Wrestling as we head now towards Bash at the Beach. The big date is the 13th of July. That is a Sunday night. The event will originate from Daytona Beach, Florida. And we know that Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and the Worm Dennis Rodman will be a tag team. The Giant and Lex Luger want that match. They deserve that match. But hopefully next week we'll get a confirmation on a signing of that match. Love to see it, wouldn't you, Brain?
Hey, what did Sting say? Whoever Hogan is, he will be.
That's right.
So who knows what's going to happen.
We saw earlier Billy Kidman, one of the top cruiserweights, go down to defeat at the hands of Alex Wright. And now, one of the greatest cruiserweights in the world. Former champion over and over, Mr. Perseverance, Mr. Heart and Determination, and the fans love him, the youngster Rey Mysterio Jr. from Mexico. Rey Mysterio Jr. from Mexico. Are you with me here?
I know where he's from. I know his name.
Why didn't you talk? Why didn't you?
I don't have to talk until something happens.
You get paid to talk here.
This is television. These humanoids can see. We don't have to tell them everything. Next, we'll be talking in Braille.
Juventud Guerrera, the opponent. Full arm dragon twist now, and he wants to start out slowly here, Brain.
This will be a good match because they're both about the same size, both same ability.
Fans, do not forget that Bash of the Beach on the 13th of July will be an exclusive pay-per-view event. Call your local cable operator right now and be a part of Bash at the Beach. Bash at the Beach, if you'll recall, 1 year ago was the event where Hulk Hogan became a part and created the name NWO. Remember that? We were all shocked. What will happen this year when Rodman, Dennis Rodman it is, and Hollywood Hulk Hogan are together? You'll find out Sunday, July 13th at Bash at the Beach.
You know, Tony, watching Juventud here and Mysterio, their moves are so fluid and crisp. You can just tell they've done their homework. They know each other's style. Look at this. I'll tell you something about Dennis Rodman. Rodman's no slouch. The man's an athlete. He's 6'8". He's what, 260?
Oh, he's tough. He's one of the toughest
there's
ever.
no doubt about it. I mean, he goes into it. A lot of big guys that like to push him around, and he likes to let them think they push him around. Hogan's got something in the back of his mind here that just may work.
You know, you're right about that. But what's the motive here? Well, like you said at the top of the program, another man to do his dirty work, I guess. Juventud missed completely that time, sending Mysterio in, has a sleeper, or is it a sleeper? No, reverse chinlock applied. Mark Curtis checking to see if it's chokehold, and was not.
Look at the long hair on Mysterio. Oh, that's Juventud's hair.
That's Juventud. That was Mysterio trying to move it out of the way that time. But it was on Juventud. Look at our great crowd, capacity crowd on hand. By the way, around the 13th of July, around July, let's say 16th, 17th, and 18th, begins another 2 weeks of television tapings at Universal Studios, Florida. So if you live in the Orlando area, or if you're down at Universal Studios for a vacation starting July 16th, come on to the Worldwide Arena or the WCW Pro Arena where we tape our programs and be a part of all the action, all the fun like the fans are here, Brian.
Oh yeah, it's a happening. They line up early, and it's a fun thing for everyone.
In the ropes, pick up.
Except Juventud.
Wow.
Or Mysterio.
Not fun for Mysterio at all right now. Cover. Did not get it, but came pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close don't mean much.
Pretty darn close. How many times have we said that in a Mysterio match? Almost got him, almost got him. We say it so many times, and still he rebounds to win. German suplex. Oh, boy. Juventud wanted to make sure.
Oh!
Almost got him again.
Almost.
Did not. Amazing, a versatile athlete is the youngster, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Well, see, Tony, if you've been in the ring, you'll notice, you would know, look at, oh! I mean, you can tell the count. The referee will count one. He usually counts out loud, too. He hits his hand. He'll go 1, 2. After 2, you know he's coming down to 3. And you just got to get your shoulder up the best you can. Take as long as you can on that count. Sometimes you need the time.
Complete miss that time again by Juventud. Oh! Top rope. Plancha, 1, 2, 3. You know, you think about all the things he has going for him. You are looking at a man with so much tenacity, perseverance, desire, heart. And not only that, he's one of the smallest ever to wrestle. How about it? He is an incredible athlete.
Sí tenemos competencia, sí sabemos luchar. Eso fue para todos los...
Rey Mysterio Jr. The fans celebrate his win again here on Worldwide Wrestling. It's time for our Valvoline replay used by America's top mechanics.
Well, here's something that should be used by a mechanic. The old Rey Mysterio off the top rope. Hook him upside down, take him over, hook the legs for the 1, 2, 3. You'll get your car greased, you'll get your doors fixed, everything will happen. Except Juventud, you run into some bad luck.
People who know use Valvoline. Let's take you now to Lee Marshall.
Fan support really means a lot to a lot of these professional wrestlers. For example, I think of competitors like Eddie Guerrero or Rey Mysterio Jr. Anywhere they go, they attract a huge amount of Latino fans. Likewise, it doesn't matter where we go. If there's a Canadian in town, they're going to show up when either Chris Jericho or the amazing French Canadian show up. And then there's Ming, who hails from the island of Tonga. Let me bring him on in here. Wherever you go, it seems that a lot of the Tonganese, the Samoan people, the island people, they come from wherever they've got to come from just to watch you compete. That must make you feel pretty good.
What are you trying to say? You're trying to say, Mr. Major, that we are rowing the canoe all the way here?
Well, no, I was just making a suggestion that you have a great deal of fan support.
That's why we're so big like this, because we rowed the canoe all the way from the island. And let me tell you something. Everywhere we go, there's always a lot of Tongans there, Samoan, you talk about the Fijian, Tahitian, you name the whole South Pacific, the Hawaiians, they all are law there.
What? They do what?
You didn't get that?
No, I didn't get the last part. But that's okay. As a matter of fact, this is a great opportunity for you to speak directly to the people of the islands about what it's like competing in the WCW.
Well, it's a great honor to compete in WCW. But the most of all is being with the Dungeon of Doom.
Ah, yes.
We always ready to any kind of action. Call us and we'll be there to take over on WCW, NWO, Four Horsemen, whoever you want to put in front of us, we're going to take care of them.
Why is it that people refer to you as the monster?
The monster.
Yeah, they say the monster's turned loose.
Turn loose.
Yeah.
Because they haven't seen a real wrestler step into that ring, but this man here. So is the Dungeon of Doom. When we talk about wrestling, we're getting there and to destroy it.
I think I understand why they call him the monster. Well, Tonganese or not, Samoan or not, when this man's in town, buy a ticket. See the Dungeon of Doom. You're not going to be sorry. You'll see action.
More action on Worldwide Wrestling. Good to have you with us wherever you are. And
I'm right here.
I know where you are. I only have to listen.
Hey, the rodeo's in town.
Greg the Hammer Valentine. Hey, not too long ago on this very program, picked up some wins. You got to save the veterans back in the hot seat once again here, Brain.
Would you be my Valentine?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Greg the Hammer Valentine.
One tough individual.
One of the greatest wrestlers ever.
You know why they call him the Hammer?
Yes, I do.
He'd pound on you all day long.
One of the hardest hitters in our sport. And for Greg Valentine, here comes another hard hitter from Alabama, Bobby Eaton. One of the greatest right-hand punchers you'll ever find. So,
But he's left-handed.
no, right-handed.
No, he's left-handed, but he punches with the right hand. Shows you how goofy he is.
Who told you this story?
Regal.
Oh, there you go.
Stephen Regal told me
Stephen
that.
Regal, who would lie to his grandmother, told you that story.
No, he wouldn't lie to his grandma. He doesn't talk to her anymore.
Why not?
Hates her.
Let's go to the match. Here we go. It's Valentine and Eaton.
He said that was the trouble with Eaton. He said he wouldn't take command. He wouldn't listen. He wasn't obedient. That's what Regal told me.
I'm not going to even get into that argument with you. Here's Valentine hitting the ropes and a big elbow in the back of the neck. You know, Valentine, you call him the Hammer, but let's talk about more than just that hammer sledgehammer forearm shot. He's got that big elbow drop of his. He uses that to win matches, and look how he can put the hurting on you, stomping and kicking Bobby Eaton here.
You know, he's very methodical, too. He'll take his time with you. And the more you pound on the hammer, the more he likes it. The more he's into a match. You're not going to beat this man 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes. You're going to have a fight on your hands when you're in there with him.
And Greg Valentine, Bobby Eaton tried to backslide that time, but he was too close to the ropes. Greg Valentine, well-documented career, former member of the World Tag Team Champions over and over again, with the Nature Boy Ric Flair as his partner. We're talking about in the early stages of his career. They started in the career together. Plus, World Television Champion, United States Heavyweight Champion, and many times top contender to the World Heavyweight title.
And he's wrestled all over the world.
Yes, he has.
Second generation, his father, Johnny Valentine, probably one of the toughest men ever to walk this earth.
And one of the wildest, too, I understand. Pick up a Bobby Eaton, dropped him down.
Yeah, he did have a good time every now and then.
One. Uppercut by Bobby Eaton. Greg Valentine trying to extend the elbow that time, but Bobby Eaton, here's what we're talking about.
Those short rights.
Short right hands. The hammer reverses, then Bobby Eaton, swinging neck breaker, one of his trademark maneuvers.
Well, that'll pinch a nerve in your neck.
2, no sir. Hammer kicks away.
Oh.
Pick up.
He didn't get him good there. He dropped him on his side. He got him.
He beat him. Greg Valentine covered Bobby Eaton and got a big win. And, you know, for the veteran here, former champ, the wins continue to mount on a big winning streak here in WCW.
Well, that's one thing you want here at WCW. You want to get on a winning streak. That's when people look at you. That's when they take notice. And the hammer is making people look his way. Once again, Greg the Hammer shoves Bobby Eaton into the ropes, hits him with a high knee. Eaton slaps that headlock on him. Hammer just set him up for that. The big elbow, and your winner, the Hammer. 1, 2, 3.
Well, the fanfare, the music means that Steven Regal, or Steve Regal, don't call him Lord anymore.
Doesn't like that now.
Doesn't like that. Not so sure even like Steven, but nevertheless.
What are you going to call him, Funky?
No, well, forget about it. I'm going to call him Steve Regal, okay?
How's your marriage going, pal? That's what I thought.
Oh, my goodness, having problems with an NWO fan here. How about that, Brain?
Well, Regal will get up in anybody's face and talk. He just hates Americans. Just really hates it here. But he likes the money.
For the 4th time in his career, he is the television champion of the world, Steven Regal. To face another man from Great Britain, Doc Dean. A lot of intensity in Doc Dean. And here we go, Doc Dean and Steven Regal from the neutral position. Dean knows Regal quite well, and of course, a win here by Dean would give him the television belt.
See, now watch this. You're going to learn something here. You don't have to be 6'5", 350 pounds. You watch what this Doc Dean does. You watch the moves like Steven Regal, how they float out of move to move. They know what they're doing in there.
Fans, let's remind you of Bash at the Beach, Sunday night, the 13th of July, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and only on pay-per-view. Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the World Heavyweight Champion, and the Worm, Dennis Rodman, one of the top superstars in the sports world, will be together as a tag team. Lex Luger and the Giant have said, we want the match. Will they get it? We'll find out next week. In the meantime, join us Sunday, July 13th, all right now to be part of Bash at the Beach.
Tony, what kind of a doc is Dean?
I don't know.
Is he like a psychiatrist? Is he like a loading doc?
I don't
like what?
It's a nickname.
Oh.
Not really. It's like, you know.
Like Gorkland, they call him Goofy. It's like a nickname.
Yeah, but, yeah, that's right. Or you, they call you the Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, they call you Shivani.
That was much kinder than I thought you'd be.
Well, I'm on the air now. I can't show you the gestures that go along with it.
Never stopped you before. Look at those European uppercuts from the television.
Okay, how's that?
Hey, stop it. From Steven Regal here.
Huh?
Would you please get back to the match? A lot of anticipation for Bash of the Beach, Rodman Hogan together.
Don't sell Rodman short now.
I'm not.
I mean, I'm not you, but I'm hoping that the wrestlers here at WCW don't think he's just a big, tall, thin guy that can jump in the air. He knows how to intimidate you. He's a tough guy.
One of the best. He'll be with us Sunday the 13th of July. Up and down.
He may be out of his element a bit with wrestling, but with Hogan as his partner, and he knows how to bend the rules, this will be tremendous.
Over the top. And down. One. No. Other way. 1, 2, 3.
He got the doctor.
Still the television champion, Steven Regal. He can do it all. I tell you, he can wrestle. He can fight.
Time for nobility. Let's go out of the window. And the dirty, rotten scoundrel is in full force.
Yeah, that's right. Dirty, rotten scoundrel is what he is.
Speaking of that movie, he called me about 2 months ago. He was having dinner with Michael Caine, who did that movie, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Put him on the phone. We shot the breeze for a while. What a nice guy. Well, there he is, Steven Regal. He gets the win, the 1, 2, 3.
He is your winner. Still to come, Dean Malenko, Chris Jericho, and much more. But right now, we take you to our friend Lee Marshall. Lee?
Well, thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Lee Marshall, and I'm really, really pleased Eddie Guerrero has agreed to talk with us. I have some questions about, well, really, the personality. You asked me not to judge you. Don't judge a book by its cover. You've been misjudged, misquoted. Some things have gone on. You and Malenko, he hurt you, and now it appears that you're really determined to hurt him. But somewhere along the line, Eddie, your personality has taken, well, a pretty severe left turn, don't you think?
You could say that. You could say a lot of things. Hey, apparently you've already judged me. Have you judged me? Go ahead. Judge me.
We're just looking for honest answers.
The point is, Dean Malenko, I am not in a gray area no more. I'm in a dark area. And that dark area was brought out by you, my friend. See, I took your championship. Supposedly, the cruiserweight, it was my fault that you lost. You had to blame it on somebody. Blame it on me. Well, see, you made all these excuses, so I said, no, let me give him a shot at the U.S. Championship, you know. I know he's going to be a great opponent. I know it's going to be a great match. Well, you went a step overboard, Dean, and you tore my pec. So I've been sitting at home for 4 months waiting to get my chance to get my hands on you. See, because you've made this very personal by doing this. See, because every time I look at my 2 girls when they want something and I have to cut back on my finances because I can't work, see, you stepped into a very heavy area, Dean Malenko. When I look at my girls and I can't buy on the bike they want because I can't work, like I say once again, it just makes me mad. And all I want to do is just go over and punch you right in the face. Well, my friend, that opportunity is coming very fast, and I'm just thrilled to death about it. I can't wait, my friend, to go out and turn the lights off on you.
Fans, in this telecast, we saw some great cruiserweights like Billy Kidman, Rey Mysterio Jr., Juventud Guerrera. We've seen some great heavyweights like Steven Regal, Bob Eaton, Greg Valentine, and still to come, Dean Malenko, former U.S. champ against Chris Jericho. But right now, Super Calo, one of the top cruiserweights from Mexico in action.
And his hat and his glasses will never leave his head.
And why do you think that is? You don't have an answer for that, do you?
No. I think he just buys things that fit.
Maybe so. Super Calo is going to face one of the toughest men in this sport. Any man will tell you that if you have a match with Buddy Lee Parker, you are in for a fight.
That's right, Super Calo. There's no rules.
that was pretty
Got
vivid.
plans for Mr.
Boy,
Callow.
he really does. He's coming in with a plan here. Buddy Lee Parker, Super Calo, one-on-one.
Is it Callow or Callow?
It's Calo.
Who told you that?
Actually,
Mike Tenay.
Mike Tenay did. After Super Calo had been here for like 4 months, going under Calo, he finally decided to go out to Calo. So, what do you do?
I call him by his first name.
Super?
Pancho.
Oh, would you please stop? Calo sent in by Buddy Lee, tried a lariat and another one. Calo just so quick. Springboard middle rope, 1-2 count on a flying body press. And drop kick sends the man on the outside.
Notice how Callow, Pancho Callow, floats through the air. He doesn't come off that top rope. Look at this. Look at that move.
That's floating, huh? But the nosedive is what that is from Super Calo.
Oh!
The double axe handle on the top of the head.
What fell? Something fell out of Parker's pocket or something. Or an ear or something.
An ear fell off his head?
I don't know.
Maybe so. Calo is up on top again. So much quickness. Oh, boy. There it goes. Now.
It's pound time for Pancho.
And the sunglasses still didn't come off the head.
The hat's still on.
Unbelievable. And that was a major league lariat that time, or clothesline, if you will, from Buddy Lee. And Buddy Lee now, since his victory, could be at hand here, Brain.
Pancho doesn't know where he's at. He's just staggering out there.
It's Super Calo, not Pancho. Buddy Lee, although assaulting the man on the outside, rolling Calo in.
He'll beat on you all day long, Buddy Lee.
Scoop slam down. And Buddy Lee with a cross face. Reverse chin lock applied here.
I noticed no one ever goes for the Mexican wrestler's mask. They never try to take him off. I would try to take off the mask. That would throw them off their game plan.
Well, I think most people who wrestle the Mexican stars have a respect for the tradition that the mask stand for.
Tony, if somebody's picking me up in the air and throwing my body around and they're punching me, I want to know who's doing it.
Yeah, but okay, so what? You take the mask off. Is that going to win you the match? No.
Well, you don't know now.
No, wait a minute. You pull the mask off and you say, oh, there's a Mexican who I don't even know.
No, but he doesn't
put the
want
mask back on, you keep wrestling.
No, he doesn't want to be recognized. He's wearing that mask for a reason. Once you take that mask off him, that's like stripping him down.
One,
it's like taking his shoes
two,
off.
baloney.
He's not going to be able to do it.
Baloney.
What happened if you went up to Clayton Moore and snapped that mask when he's sitting on the white horse with Pancho? I mean, the guy from Canada, Toronto, what's the Indian's name? You know what I mean.
You're talking about the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, what'd you do?
And that's
You took his
long
man off.
before I was born, okay? Let's get back to the match here.
Okay, let's get to some curry. You know Gabby Hayes?
Yes, he's Director of Security for WCW. Oh, it's Doug Dillinger, I'm sorry.
I can see where you get him confused, though. Gabby's got one more tooth.
Into the midsection.
In the midsection, that's where he has it.
And a reversal.
Oh!
Calo sent in. Oh! Up on top.
Oh!
Calo with a great maneuver. Top rope punch out. Picks him up. Buddy Lee does not want to be here, but Calo sent him down.
Who does?
Version of the Hurricanrana that time. And 1, 2, 3. Got the win. Super Calo.
Super Pancho.
Oh, Brain.
Nice vest.
Every day with you is an adventure. Calo gets big win. Coming up next, Dean Malenko, Chris Jericho, and our main event on Worldwide Wrestling.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Motel 6. The new Motel 6 is renovating across America. Call 1-800-4-MOTEL-6 for reservations.
Should be quite a matchup because we have two men who are top contenders to many titles. Television title, United States Championship, even Cruiserweight Championship. And here's a man, I would not want to take a match against the Iceman right now. Just lost to Jeff Jarrett, lost the United States Heavyweight Championship.
Because of Eddie Guerrero.
Because of Eddie Guerrero. And here's a man who stays focused, who when he loses a title and has something go wrong in his career will pick up the intensity even more, which is a great thing for a wrestler to do. It's a great way to approach things. Not to sulk, not to cry, just go back at it harder. Dean Malenko and his opponent Chris Jericho. And Jericho, a lot of intensity.
And I've got the list of all the wrestlers that are going to be participating next week here, and I'll run it by you in a little bit.
You mean our rundown for next week?
Yes, I've got it all down here right now. I'll do it later.
You want to do it by yourself?
Yeah, I'll handle it. Don't worry.
Okie dokie. We wait for that one, fans.
Notice Malenko hasn't shaved for a few days, maybe a week, maybe a month. He's not a happy man.
No, he's not. But he's ready to go. Look at this. Aggressive already. Here we go. Jericho, Malenko. Very similar in their styles in that they like to take the fight to you. And they would as soon stay on the mat as they would go up high. They can do it all. Jericho, right now, though, very young in the formative years of his career. And you can better believe in the next 5 or 6 years, Chris Jericho is going to be a champ.
Either that or win the Michelle Pfeiffer look-alike contest.
Oh, no, not at all. Hammerlock applied here by Jericho. Jericho's father, Ted Irvine, great hockey player with the Kings, with
He
the
wasn't
Rangers.
a hockey player. I found out what he did. He delivered ice. He used to have a horse with a hat with the ears sticking out, and he used to deliver ice in Brooklyn. That's what he did. That's what I heard.
Chris Jericho's father had his ears sticking out of his hat.
No, his horse did, which he finally wound up marrying.
What was his horse doing with Chris Jericho's father's hat?
Didn't have one of his own. How do I know?
Well, would you... Tom Brislock
Horses
applied.
can't go buy hats.
He was a hockey player.
No, he delivered ice.
Well, you can talk to Jericho about that, but I know on very good authority that his father was a hockey player. And Chris, great athlete, ducking low, rolls up, does Malenko. How about this?
Oh.
Hip up in a handspring, cartwheel, and then Jericho gets the first blow back in.
Maybe his dad did play hockey because I had heard over the years that his friends used to call him the baby goon. So maybe he did.
I don't want to get into this. Jericho!
Oh!
Good maneuver using the middle turnbuckle that time and propelling himself across the top rope of the floor. And the fans appreciate the abilities of the youngster, Lionheart, Chris Jericho.
Man's in tremendous shape.
Yes, he is.
Wrestlers are all in better shape now than they were 20 years ago, 10 years ago.
1, 2, and they have to be.
Well, the conditioning, the schedules,
That's right.
Just with the workouts, the nutrition, everything is speeded up. The athlete is bigger today, faster and stronger.
And the man that really started this modern era of wrestling, the super heavyweights, the big size, the speed, everything, was Hulk Hogan. And, you know, you can say what you want to about him, like him or not, and we all certainly do not. He really paved the way for wrestling in the modern era, don't you think? From Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Because
6'8", 350, 325.
you know, everybody came along and wanted a shot at that man. They wanted to knock that man off. A lot of people had a good opportunity to do it. But boy, Hogan was smart. He knew how to manipulate people. He hid behind the rules. For years, I've said this about the man. Told you what a piece of slime the guy is. Nobody believed me. Now everybody sees. Now you people still want to call me a weasel? Still want to call me names when I'm right? Go ahead. You just make yourself look stupid.
And in a mere 3 weeks, same man, Hulk Hogan, now known as Hollywood Hogan, will team with the Worm, Dennis Rodman, in the main event at WCW's Bash at the Beach.
You've been close to Rodman.
Only one time.
What's good is if you get tired of looking at him, you can read him. With all this kind of drawings on him, he draws.
Those are tattoos.
Oh. Thought he fell asleep in a newspaper in Central Park.
You try to read those tattoos. There's a 1, 2, almost got a 3 count.
Well, it's kind of hieroglyphics, you know. You have to be educated.
I don't know. I don't want to get into it here. But we are seeing Dean Malenko trying to rebound after a catastrophic loss at the hands of Jeff Jarrett. And
But what happened? Eddie Guerrero came out of nowhere, had a sling on, climbed that top rope, jumped Dean Malenko when he was flat on his back in trouble. I mean, come on.
Problems exist between the two. I mean, if you can go back and talk about the history between Malenko and Guerrero and what Malenko attempted to do to Eddie's family, to Chavo Jr., to Hector. I mean, it's all there.
Come on, you had 9 months and you come up with Hector. You come up with another name. You name your burro Hector. You don't name your kid Hector. You got a brother named Hector?
Eddie has a brother named Hector, and you know that, and you're just trying to make fun of the name.
And what's his other brother's name?
Eddie's brother, Chavo Sr.
Chavo.
Pick up.
You know what Chavo means in Spanish?
No, I don't. Here's Malenko with a cover. 1, 2.
Oh!
Jericho, you can see his eyes were open, looking at the referee, and he knew that he could get out of it, but he let the count go to 2 that time.
Chavo is a derogative to the word coward.
A derogative? Word? Yeah, a derogative.
Where'd you come up with this, Tony? Tony, you're talking like you're nuts.
I'm repeating what you just said.
Yeah, you didn't hear it from me. Oh!
Malenko puts on the abdominal stretch. He really put the brakes on that time with the attempted Irish whip from Chris Jericho.
And that's a great move, because that's what throws you off. He goes to throw you into those ropes, and you figure you're going that way. All of a sudden, he stops you, pulls your back. Your whole body just snaps back and forth. That's why he can slap the stretch on him that easy. Boy, does he know what he's doing in that ring. It's a pleasure to watch a man like this.
Yes, it is. And I would agree with that. And look at Jericho. Jericho with a lot of tenacity and desire here. He just absorbed everything, and now he's back into it. Going to follow Malenko in. A patented Malenko move. One step ahead. The quickness. Jericho blocked the double axe handle. Belly to belly. Released it. All the way to the ropes on the other side. And the cover. Jericho 1, 2. No.
I don't think Malenko's going to get beat twice in a couple weeks.
Well, I wouldn't think that either, but sometimes you never
don't know.
That's right. You never know how they're going to react to a loss. Foot is up.
Especially here at WCW. Anybody can beat you any time.
That was great anticipation that time by Malenko.
You know, anticipation is better than preparation. You can prepare all you want.
Small package, 1, 2. Malenko fighting, finally got out of it.
You can prepare all you want for a Dean Malenko, but you're never going to be prepared for him. But if you can anticipate what he's going to do, you're better off. I'd rather have a wrestler working for me that could anticipate rather than prepare himself.
Oh, 1, 2.
No!
The bridge suplex, and for a second time now, Malenko gets out of it. Small package, bridge suplex. How about that counter move? The Iceman turns him over. 1, 2. Did not get him. Did not get him, but it was pretty darn close.
Boy, the hand was on its way down, wasn't it? And he's frustrated. Look at Malenko. What can I do to beat this man?
Up on top, down.
The wrestlers are so much better today, Tony, than they were.
1, 2, no. 1, no. Again, look at this. Incredible turn of events here. Who's going to get the pin?
It looked like a lazy boy gone nuts.
Yeah, you're
It
right.
reclined, it went back, it went upside down, it turned around.
And Malenko hits hard. Jericho wants to make sure that he's down, groggy, for the missile drop kick. Couldn't get him up. Forward roll inside.
Yes! And you notice as he took him over, he rode him down. He hooked his leg. That's a wrestler. That's a man that knows his craft. Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko gets the win here on WCW Worldwide Wrestling, and there's a very dejected Jericho. Gave it his all. That was a great match.
Don't pout. Learn from it. You were in there with a man that mastered you. You were in there with a man that beat you with a wrestling maneuver. Take a look at this, Mr. Jericho. Take a good look, because you're in there with Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holes. Look at that. Malenko went underneath, caught him in that beautiful scoop body slam. And look at that. Hooked him in the midair. Look how the legs are wrapped around. He knows what he's doing. There's your winner.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. You want to hear us here next week?
I want to hear us next week.
Where's my paper now?
There's There it is.
This is.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay,
Oh, you bonehead. Public Enemy next week.
Now, wait a
Did
minute.
you see that?
Okay, now.
Scotty Riggs
I
will be
was
here
gonna
next
say
week.
that.
I knew you were. Okay. Hey, Hacksaw Jim Duggan will be here. Hacksaw
yeah.
Jim. He'll be here, and Ice Train will be here
And
as well.
with his manager,
Teddy Long.
I was going to say that.
And for the man who's a step behind the brain, I'm Tony Schiavone. See you next week on Worldwide Wrestling.
Next week.
Yes. From Universal Studios, Florida, time for Worldwide Wrestling. And this week, Bobby the Brain Heenan in tag team action, Public Enemy.
And Mrs. Riggs' little boy, Scotty's here.
Scotty Riggs will be here. Plus, watch out for Hacksaw Jim Duggan in singles competition.
And the world's only human caboose is here, Ice Train.
You should have said that. Plus, in tag team action, High Voltage. It's all coming up next. And along with the Brain, Bobby Heenan, I'm Tony Schiavone. Welcome to Worldwide from Universal Studios in Florida, where later on in our main event, tag team action, featuring High Voltage and the amazing French Canadians. But let's talk about Bash of the Beach, July 13th. Who will be the mystery partner for Diamond Dallas Page against Scott Hall and the Macho Man Randy Savage of the NWO?
You know, Diamond Dallas Page has always operated on his own. He's never asked for help from anyone. So now for him to go out and get a mystery partner to go against Savage and Hall of the NWO, I want to just see who this partner is going to be.
It could be anybody. Don't forget,
Anybody.
he was up in the rafters in the balcony when he made that big announcement not too long ago. And what about the Worm, Dennis Rodman, will team with Hollywood Hulk Hogan against the Giant in the Total Package, Lex Luger?
You know, Rodman's been pushing around a lot of guys his whole life. A lot of big guys he's been pushing around. But I wonder if he bit off a little more than he can chew. We saw how he operates. He hit a guy from behind with the bell, hit the Giant, but he dropped about 4 or 5 good elbows. But he's got to remember one thing. Hogan's his partner, and Hogan's never helped anybody but Hogan.
That's exactly right, fans. We'll talk more about that, but right now let's go to the ring. The opening bout this week on Worldwide Wrestling. All right, now in the arena for the opening bout, tag team action here on WCW Worldwide Wrestling, and the fans getting into this duo. Rocco Rock, Public Enemy, one of the top tag teams in the world. Wasn't too long ago that they told Gene Okerlund, as a matter of fact, recently at the Great American Bash, they want to be considered now top contenders for the World Tag Team title. I mean, they got a point. They are former tag team champions.
Well, you're right about that. Anybody that's a former champion, they usually consider, but, you know, these guys are very dangerous. They use tables, they use chairs, they use anything they can get their hands on, and you know, everybody just seems to be liking their style, and no one seems to be doing anything about them.
Fans certainly do like them.
Look at the fans.
What's wrong with the fans?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
And here's an interesting point that we've talked about so many times. This duo taking the table and using the table as part of the action. The referees, there's X marks the spot. I guess that's going to be the target for later on. The referees have allowed the duo to take the table in the ring and use it on their opponents, and that's unprecedented in our sport.
Well, usually by the time they get in the ring, the match is over, totally out of control. I don't know what the tape's for. It's either a bullseye or the table's been hurt. I'm trying to fix it. I don't know.
Look at David Fenzer.
Never looked better.
Oh, for crying
That's
out
the
loud.
funniest thing. He's got a bow tie on. Look at that. Huh.
No, I was talking about the hat he had on his head. All right. Doc Dean, Robbie Brookside. This is the opening bout on Worldwide Wrestling, and Mickey J is your referee. Certainly, as we know, outsiders of the World Tag Team Champs, but coming up at Bash of the Beach, the outsiders are going to be split, so to speak, because Scott Hall teams with the Macho Man Randy Savage. Have you heard about this mystery partner, who he's going to be for DDP?
No, but what I have heard is a lot of talk about who's he going to be. Everyone's very interested. And I heard the NWO has put out a bounty. I heard they put out a little cash for anybody to find out who. You know, Diamond Dallas is he's a loner, so who knows who he's come up with.
Where have you heard about this bounty?
Well, I have my sources.
Oh, you do?
Yes. If the NWO wants to know bad, and they're throwing away some pretty big bucks, I hear.
Have you taken him up on the offer? Maybe to do some investigative. There's a buck to be made. You're going to attempt it. I can tell
But
you that.
I have honor, you know.
Yeah, you have none. Foot to the back by Brookside, and Doc Dean got the foot in. Here's the tag, and this duo from Great Britain looking good here in the opening moments of this tag team bout. Sending Rocco in. Double drop kick on target here. How
They
about that?
wrestled a lot over in Europe together.
Yes, they do. In Germany, in Great Britain, in Austria, in France. They internationally known. And their success here in the United States, not what it's been in Europe, but they still have been very competitive. And right now, they're an old tag team trick here, getting the referee's attention and then breaking the rules on the other side.
Now probably he should get his partner to come in too, and both put the boots to him and then make the switch. That's good tag team.
Yeah, see, I was saying that this move probably was developed by Bobby the Brain Heenan in his years as a manager. Into the midsection of the chest.
I did create a lot of very interesting moves in tag team.
Yes, you did. You have been known as the biggest cheater the sport has ever seen.
Well, thank you very much, Tony.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
In the corner, in the back, you really like that distinction.
Hey, I know a lot about cheating. I've had 7 very successful marriages.
And a knee to the head that time, and Rocco Rock goes down.
Oh!
You're in number 7 right now?
No.
Number 8.
26. No, your business though.
So you've had 21 unsuccessful ones, or 19 unsuccessful ones.
I haven't found most of them yet.
Okay. In the ropes, missing a clothesline that time. Rocco Rock connected with Sahi Moonsault. That is out of the Ultimate Dragon textbook that time. And he connected, but both men are hurt here. And the exchange, and here comes Johnny Grunge. Running lariat, scoop slam. Down goes Brookside, and then down goes Dean. Johnny Grunge gets the action going quickly on the outside. Watch out on the far side now as head first goes Brookside to the safety rail. Doc Dean tried to block it, could not. And now Brookside hit in the head. That staggers him, and he's on the table.
I believe Brookside is the main course.
Rocco Rock! Oh!
No, I believe we're having a sight of Rocco tonight.
I believe so too. And now as he hits hard to roll up 1, 2.
Almost.
Doc Dean almost had an upset victory there.
Well, this team's been together a while.
Johnny Grunge missed, and to the midsection. Here comes Doc Dean from the double team. Sends Brookside down. Brookside hit hard. Grunge rolls him up 1, 2. This one's over. So how about that? The table did not come into play, although, as you can see, it did for Rocco Rock in a roundabout way.
Well, the table didn't do a whole lot for Rocco that Rocco enjoys, I'll guarantee you that. He would have rather gone through the table with Mr. Brookside under him, but they won the match. I guess they have to be grateful for that.
And they still lay their claim to one of the top contenders for the Tag Team Championship. Rocco Rock, Johnny Grunge, they're an odd duo. Public Enemy. With that in mind, we go to an odd announcer, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Go ahead, Brain.
Odd? What do you mean odd?
Well, different. He's different than most people I've met.
Well, it's good to be different. Great to be different. You don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to be like Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock. I don't want to be like Mike Tenay and Lee Marshall, and I don't want to be like anybody but myself. I like being me. You like being you?
You're half right.
Try being me.
We'll be back with more on Worldwide after this timeout. Stay with us.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline.
We welcome you back to Worldwide Wrestling, where later on in this telecast, the amazing French Canadians will meet High Voltage. Plus, we're going to be talking a lot about WCW's Bash at the Beach coming up in the month of July 13th, where Dennis Rodman and Hollywood Hulk Hogan will be a tag team. First time ever now for Dennis Rodman in a match. And as we see Viano for the masked man from Mexico make his way to the ring, he has a tough opponent in one half of the former tag team American Males and Scotty Riggs.
You're right about that. I'll elaborate a little more on Dennis the Worm Rodman in a moment. I think everybody's looking at this the wrong way, and I'll tell you why in a moment.
Scotty Riggs here at Universal Studios Florida, as always. A big crowd on hand when we are in Florida. And there you see fans here. We got some NWO fans, some WCW fans, and good to have you with us wherever you are. Well, Diamond Dallas and his mystery partner. Of course, a lot of people now talking about the split of Mongo and Jeff Jarrett in the U.S. title match that they'll have coming up at Bash at the Beach.
Now, there's a very, very interesting pay-per-view. So many things could happen so many different ways.
That's always like that in the pay-per-view.
But now, with a mystery partner, and you got Dennis Rodman, you got Mongo, you got Jarrett, they're all great, but it's just He's very different now.
Backhand chop over the top, and great elevation that time by Riggs. Viano 4 sent him down hard.
You know, Rodman, talking about his athletic ability, we all know the man's a tremendous athlete. I mean, look how high the man can jump. Look at the size of the man. What, he's 6'8" or something?
Sure, absolutely.
And you saw what he did to the Giant when he hit him from the back. He knew enough to do that. He dropped those elbows on him. Now, if you think Rodman's going to get in that ring and wrestle and try to get out like a Dean Malenko and try to go hold for hold, that's not going to happen. So forget that. But Rodman knows how to fight. He knows how to fight a lot of big people for a long periods of time. And he's a great athlete, so don't sell him short at all.
Don't forget, fans, WCW's Bash of the Beach is available exclusively on pay-per-view. It is Sunday night, the 13th of July. Of course, if you have the mini dish or satellite dish, you call your respective numbers for DirecTV and be a part of it. Or call your local cable operator and join us. WCW presents, oh, good move, Bash of the Beach, Sunday, July 13th. The event available exclusively on pay-per-view. Don't you dare be left out.
If I was Riggs, I'd turn that mask around backwards on the guy.
What would that accomplish?
It's easy to fight a guy that can't see you. Doesn't that make sense?
Isn't that against the rules, though? And
oh, yeah, you wouldn't want to break the rules.
How about that one? Head of steam by Riggs on the right side and just steamrolled Viano 4 down.
You ever see Viano 1, 2, or 3?
Nope, never did. But, you know, Mike Tenay is going to be going to Mexico City, Tijuana, and into Mexico very soon to bring back some special reports of our great athletes from south of the border from Mexico. We'll find out more about Viano 1, 2, and 3. There's a 2 count.
You know, they sent him about 2 months ago to Mexico. They told him to come back and report. Said he had Montezuma's revenge for 3 days, never left the room.
Mike Tenay?
Well, that's the report he gave him.
In the corner, and Viano 4 runs in. Reckless abandon that time, but comes back again. Scotty Riggs going after him.
Oh!
And another clothesline.
With authority.
Yes, sir. And a back elbow. Riggs sending Viano 4 down. Here we go. The whip in, and nobody home for that one.
Ooh. So always a sound I enjoy, the air coming out of a human.
You like that, huh?
Yeah. Kick him real good in the back. Kick a guy like Hogan all day, I'd like to hear that.
1, 2, 3, and he got it. Viano 4 tried to kick out, but the forearm shot was on target, and Scotty Riggs gets the win on Worldwide Wrestling. And still to come, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Roadblock in singles competition, plus the Big Man Ice Train and Big Al, and our tag team main event as we head now to the month of July and Bash at the Beach, live from Daytona Beach and the Ocean Center. Time for the replay, and that means the Brain. Go ahead, Brain.
I'll go ahead when I see the replay.
Go ahead, Brain.
I haven't seen the replay yet. Now I see the replay. Scotty Riggs shoots his opponent, goes up the drop kick right on the button. Gets Viano 4. Viano 4 kind of loses balance here, and Riggs just drives him into that match. Ducks under. Big flying elbow to the side of the head. Hooks him with a 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Mrs. Riggs' little boy, Scotty.
And we're going to see Mrs. Block's Big Boy Road pretty soon. Stay with us on Worldwide. We are going to be sending it on the road with our colleague Mike Tenay here in a few moments on WCW Worldwide Wrestling. And fans, of course, the very end of the month of June, into the month of May means Bash at the Beach. Can you ever remember more anticipation for a tag?
Into the month of May?
Did I say May?
Yes, you're all turned around. Now, you always blame me for these things.
I meant into the month of July. And, of course, on July 13th is the Bash at the Beach as the Big Man Roadblock makes his way in. Can you ever remember more anticipation for a tag team event? We're talking about in the entire sports world than Hollywood Hogan and the Worm Dennis Rodman together, the main event on Sunday night, July 13th.
Probably the two most talked about people in sports today.
And I would agree with that. And what plan are they going to come up with? What strategy will they employ against Lex Luger and the Giant? Because as you know, based on what happened recently at Nitro, Luger the Giant more than want to win the match. They want to maybe eke out some revenge on Hogan and Rodman.
Well, you're talking about Hogan, Rodman, Luger, Giant. But what happened a little while back was Hogan, Rodman, Hall, Nash, Six in the NWO. It's going to be different now. Sure, the NWO is going to try to pull whatever they want to pull, and rightly so, they get away with it. Good. But Luger and the Giant are going to come up with something. You know that.
All right, the Great American Hacksaw Jim Duggan against Roadblock. We're talking about a hard-hitting matchup. We got one for you here on Worldwide. Roadblock, one of the biggest and strongest, and of course, the man you're looking at right now, fans, with the red, white, and blue, maybe the heaviest hitter our sport's ever seen.
Got some big paws on him. Get a look at this Roadblock when he gets in the ring. I want everybody out there watching right now to get a good look at the size of this man, and I'll tell you something about him.
A little bit over 400 pounds at 410 is Roadblock, and Roadblock is the type of man, he's very smart. He's staying out of the ring while Hacksaw Jim Duggan went on the inside with the flag, and look at the size of Roadblock.
Come on, tough guy, come on!
He and Duggan, a little shoving match to begin things here. He blocked that one. Look at, boy, Duggan is just so strong, so powerful.
But I doubt if anybody can do what Luger did to Roadblock.
What, put him in that?
Put him in the rack. Hogan and Rodman should remember this. That big man there was across the shoulders of Lex Luger yelling "Uncle" a short time ago.
Well, and Hogan was too, as a matter of fact.
That's right. Well, then he can tell Rodman what it's like.
The chant of USA for the fans here in attendance behind Duggan. Got a handful of ponytail that time, enabling Roadblock now to get the advantage.
And I wouldn't doubt it for the short time he's been in the wrestling sport. He may win the United States Championship quicker than any man. I'm talking about Steve Mongo McMichaels in his match with Jeff Jarrett.
Well, his wife Deborah now solidly behind her husband.
Well, he should be.
Well, I agree with that. We don't agree on much.
Well, she gets a better offer than somebody else. Business is business.
Once again, the chant of USA to the fans, and that really revs up Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Firing back now out of this big, massive bear hug. But now the 400-pound Roadblock, just too much power, and he may have Duggan out here, Brain.
Well, if I was Roadblock, I'd have tucked my head under Duggan's right or left armpit there, got real down low, picked him up, and just squeezed it on that lower back. That's what I'd have done. Had him in the air where he was helpless. And him off the mat.
Duggan gets away from that now, and trying to regain his composure here as now being stalked by Roadblock, but I think Duggan now is getting a second wind here. In the jaw now, right hand combination blows, right, left combinations. He's up on the turnbuckle, and he's driving the hand into the side of the head.
He hit him 20 good ones right in the yap.
10 times, actually, as the fans counted with him into the corner. Roadblock! One of his big moves missed that time. And, oh boy, Duggan with a roll of tape around the hand.
Oh, that's illegal right there.
Well, so's the table.
I'm not talking about table just because that's illegal. That don't make that right. That's illegal.
And he wins it. Anyway, Hacksaw Jim Duggan is your winner with the roll of tape. The man who's a third-generation tape fist champion and a great fighter is your winner on Worldwide Wrestling. And he earned that one because Roadblock was a few moves away from getting that win. Watch out.
Whoa.
I'm looking for you. We're looking for you, tough guy.
Third-generation tape fist champion, right?
That's what he is.
You know, the first two generations were both his grandmother and his mom. Another look at this. Roadblock shoots in Duggan. Goes in. A little slow there. Didn't anticipate Duggan moving, I don't think. Duggan takes out this roll of tape, which on a sweaty hand, you tape up a fist like boxers do. It makes the hand like a rock. Nails him right between the eyes. Night-night time for the Roadblock. 1, 2, and a 3. Your winner. Ho, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Fans, when we come back, some big action from Nitro recently. Still to come, the Canadians and High Voltage in our tag team main event on Worldwide Wrestling. Stay right with us. Welcome back to Worldwide Wrestling, everyone, and we have some great action still to come, including High Voltage and the Amazing French Canadians and much more. As we head into Bash at the Beach, the month of July is going to be red hot. And can you imagine, you go back in the various events at Bash at the Beach. Remember, a couple of years ago, we were on the beach, Huntington Beach, California. What happened there? But remember, 1 year ago, Bash at the Beach, that was the event where Hulk Hogan turned his back on everyone. We all, up until that time, instead of you, Brain, you always thought, I guess correctly so, that he was a lowlife. But we all had been cheering Hollywood Hogan, or at that time Hulk Hogan, throughout his career up until that moment. But it was that night in Daytona Beach, 1996, where he turned his back on everyone.
Well, you're right about that, Siobhan. He turned his back on the world is what he did. You know, this man was supported by millions and millions of people all over the world. Like him or not, I never did. I always knew what kind of a man he is. And I'll guarantee you this, every member of the NWO is being used by Hollywood, Hulk Hogan, even Bischoff.
And, you know, and there's a theory there that when Scott Hall first appeared and then when Kevin Nash appeared, that this group had a focus. But when Hollywood Hulk Hogan became a part of the group, that the focus went off from the NWO taking over the world into just watching Hollywood Hulk Hogan's back. Of course, there's a lot of people say he was behind this all the time.
Well, I know that. He was behind it all the time. And what he wants is to control the world. I mean, face it, Hulk Hogan was and probably is one of the biggest stars in the history the sport has ever had. And now he wants to control everything, the television end of it, everything. And he won't wrestle. He does it because he's a greedy man.
Fans, don't forget that Bash at the Beach comes your way on Sunday night, the 13th of July. The event available exclusively on pay-per-view. Hogan and Rodman in the main event against Lex Luger and the Giant. It's going to be one of the biggest nights ever in our sport. All eyes of the sports world will be on Daytona Beach at the Ocean Center. Call your local cable operator right now. Sunday night, July 13th at 7 o'clock Eastern Time for the Great American Bash.
This Ice Train, he gets thicker every week. Look at the size of the shoulders on this guy. And there's Teddy Long, the little train that could.
Teddy Long, his manager, and Big Al moved out of the way. It's the best thing to do against Ice Train. He is so strong and powerful. Just stay out of his way. And look at Big Al.
Big Al's a big guy.
Nice pickup.
Don't waste your time, though, Big Al.
Leg drop. Going to try to make a cover. And you heard Teddy Long there scream, kick out, kick out. That's exactly what happened.
It's pretty bad when you got to yell that to a man. You should know it. But that's all energy. I understand that. Hang that head, Big Al.
Big Al going after the head and the upper body of Ice Train. And Ice Train mounting a big comeback here now.
Take off, Big Al.
In.
Down. I believe there's the brakes are out on that train.
Ice Train picks him up. Time for the train wreck. And that's it. You know, when he gets the momentum going, when he gets fired up like that and gets angry, you can't control Ice Train.
Well, that man Teddy Long better be able to control him because that big man Ice Train's going to hurt somebody. But that's what he's here for. That's what he wants to do. He wants to be recognized. He wants to be the big man here, just like everybody else, just like Hogan, just like Rodman, just like Hall and Nash. Everybody wants that big chunk of money, that big star in their dressing room. Well, the only way to get it is to win and get noticed. That's what Ice Train thinks he has to do right here. He's going for the cover. Now he's got Big Al. Now that's illegal to hold on to a man's vest like that, but he got away with it.
Not illegal. Go ahead.
It is too illegal. Takes the straps down. This is a big train wreck. Up he goes, and down he comes. Your winner, the human caboose, Ice Train.
Massive Ice Train is your winner. Coming up next, our main event matchup on Worldwide, the Amazing French Canadians and High Voltage. Stay with us. We'll be right back after you listen to this.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Extra Classic Bubblegum. Now, the flavor lasts longer than ever.
Two of the biggest names in the sports world will be together. Rodman and Hogan. The main event at Bash at the Beach on Sunday, July 13th. And exclusively on pay-per-view. Now time for some great tag team action featuring the amazing French Canadians. You got a prediction what's going to happen when Rodman and Hogan wrestle together?
Well, one man wears a belt and one man's got a couple rings. They're champions. You know they got a plan. You know that, Tony, just like you're sitting here.
And he knows well as I do, the plan is not going to involve just those two. It's going to involve Hall, Nash, the Outsiders, the Wolfpack, the Macho Man Randy Savage, everyone involved in the NWO, Buff Bagwell, as well as Scott Flash Norton. They're all going to get involved in this some way.
Well, you never know, but you can't count that out either.
Danger, high voltage.
But you know, Luger's no dummy either. He's not the brightest guy sometimes, but he knows what he's up against here now. I imagine him and the Giant have a plan. They're going to have to.
How about the muscles on high voltage? Big and powerful, and two young men, products of the WCW power plant, Brain.
That's right. And they're young and they're aggressive, and they feel it now. They feel the energy in the fans. They feel what's going through this sport right now, and they want a piece of it. And they're ready. They're going to be ready real soon. Within a couple months.
Now we would appreciate if you bunch of hillbillies would stand up and join us in the singing of the greatest national anthem of all time.
They really butchered this national anthem.
Not really. It's a hard song to sing. It's hard. You gotta be good.
You make it worse, too.
If you're a Canadian, you got to have a tear in your eye.
Jacques Rougeau and Carl Ouellet, the amazing French Canadians, against High Voltage in our tag team main event on Worldwide Wrestling. July means hot weather, means the beach. It means right in the middle of summer, and we're going to be going to Daytona Beach for the Bash of the Beach on the 13th. As we said earlier, all eyes of the sporting world will be on that night where Hogan and Rodman will be together. Rodman proved, as we've seen in this program and the footage from WCW Monday Nitro, that he is going to do whatever it takes to win using the tactics of the NWO.
Tony, shut your eyes and just picture this.
I would never shut my eyes sitting next to you.
Picture this. Now picture this. Now you're at the Bash at the Beach. Picture the Giant got Rodman by the neck, and he's holding him up with one hand up to the rooftop. You look behind him, you see Luger's got Hollywood Hulk Hogan stretched across his back up there in the rack. You'd like to see that, wouldn't you?
I think everyone would.
But think of this, too, now. You could be seeing the Giant laid flat out. You could be seeing Luger laying next to him flat out. You could see the whole ringside building, the whole ringside area surrounded by NWO people. And you could see Rodman in there with the spray can again with Hollywood. Painting up the town, you might say. Well, it could go either way. You can't call this one.
It's going to be a great one, and you can join us. Here goes Colonel Parker. Colonel Robert Parker, a man we know quite well, taking advantage of one of the high voltage. Chaos is his name on the outside. Oh, my.
Now, you know as well as I do, Tony, Hogan wouldn't get involved in a tag match with Luger, let alone the Giant, and have a partner he couldn't trust out there.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously he can trust Rodman from what we have seen. Rodman has proven that he does what it takes to help Hollywood Hulk Hogan, or maybe protect Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That's what it's all about, Brain.
Well, Rodman's the kind of a guy, he knows what happens when you're down, and when everybody's not giving you much of an opportunity and they're writing you off, then you got to come back and you just have to fight a little harder. And he's used to doing that.
Carl Ouellet at 310 pounds. Oh! Great maneuver that time from Rage on the outside.
Like a guided missile.
It was a tremendous flying maneuver from the top rope, and now Chaos needs to make a tag. Colonel Parker directing traffic here. And here's a tag. Rougeau back in. And here comes Rage, the young man in. Look at those heavy right hands. Would you drop kick? Scoop slam.
Powerful young man. Really strong.
Sending Rougeau into the midsection. Now with a ride to the left side. Pickup. and a back body drop. One thing that we've been very impressed about as far as high voltage is concerned is that they don't do things that's not a part of their makeup or style. They'll only try those powerful maneuvers or the high-risk ones when they're in control.
Well, that's smart wrestling. You don't want to do anything you don't know how to do. That makes sense. It makes good sense.
Yeah, but we've seen wrestlers try that before.
Well, of course. You're always going to see something like that out of...
Look at this pickup. Double team, that's their move. That is it. Cover 1, 2, and Colonel Parker has seen enough.
He saved them from losing this match.
He sure did, and that's going to call for the disqualification. High Voltage is going to win this by DQ.
Well, he's going to get his hands on the Colonel here.
And in the meantime, he's going to get nailed in the back by Rougeau. And Chaos pummeled here by Willette. High Voltage with a win, but they suffer a beating here at the hands of Colonel Parker and the amazing French Canadian.
And the Colonel doesn't like to lose. He's not going to be a happy Colonel now. He's upset. He's going to get on the amazing French Canadians about this, but he's also going to get on the officials. You don't want to get the Colonel mad.
That doesn't bother me at all. There's the hands raised for High Voltage. And a big win as the Canadians stay in the center of the ring. And as they do that, fans, here's a big reminder. We have a great program for you next week. Be sure to join us on WCW Worldwide Wrestling when, from the NWO, for the first time, Buck Bagwell will be here.
And get a load of this, Tony. The big man. The biggest man in sports, the Giant.
He'll be here getting ready for Bash to the Beach. Plus, Mortis will be with us along with James Vandenberg.
And the man that they can't stand the sight of, this man, Glacier, will be here.
That's all next week, fans, as we head to Bash to the Beach. For Bob the Brain Heenan and Lee Marshall, I'm Tony Giamatti. See you next week from Universal Studios in Florida.
See ya.